Welcome to the Human Mass Podcast. Today I've got James Roffey, high performance and mindset coach. Welcome, James.
Pleasure to be here, mate.
We've done well not to do the pre-podcast thing, haven't we?
No.
And we have done well.
Stop it. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not, but there's only one planned question I have on a podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
I don't actually.
Oh,
I didn't want it because I didn't want to have any. I didn't want to have a
Yeah. Okay. There's only one. Well, there's one at the end as well, but there's one at the start.
Yeah.
Which I ask everybody, and you'll see by the tone of my voice that I don't want the standard answer.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no real answer, I suppose. Anyway, first question: Who are you?
Oh,
yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Sorry.
Who am I? I guess based on the stories that we'll go into and delve deep into my backstory, I guess I'm a person that embodies resilience and never gives up. That's me.
And you're hanging on. That's
it. Yeah.
Would you not class that as more of a trait based on previous, rather than who you are as such? Do you know what I mean? Is that not a really? It's a fantastic trait to have.
Yeah,
No,
you're probably right. Actually, I think the easiest way is that who am I? I'm a guy that's been through some setbacks, and all I'm trying to do now is help empower other people to not go through the same shit that I did. That's what, and deal with it in a better way.
Yeah. So that is like a purpose, which is also very good. Which is also very good, though. That's good.
Yeah.
But if you go underneath that a bit more, I suppose that next layer, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but it means you are a caring, giving person. Then I suppose is that the. Do you know what I mean? As a core, soul. I think because not everybody is.
Yeah, and obviously you'd have to speak to my parents, and I know they're incredibly biased. But I think I've always been a like an empath, and kind and caring and considerate. I've just I lost it for a little bit, and then it's come back as I've got older and recovered.
Yeah, you've not let life harden you in that way, I suppose.
No, and it's probably to my detriment at times with getting taken advantage of, I guess. But you can't. You've got to embrace who you are and how you're wired inside, I guess.
It is a tough question, and there's no real right answer. And it's not like a trip you up question, but I can tell by your body language and the way your eyes and your head's moving that you actually, after this podcast, going to look into it more, and you'll probably do a post going, I've been asked because it's a deep question to get into, and you can multi-layer it and go into it a bit more. Yeah. But okay, so we chatted on Instagram first. Yeah. And I vibed with you, which is why you're here, and hopefully you've vibed with me, which is why you're here.
100%.
Now there's so many different parts to James's past. I don't even know where to start. I'll just briefly that, and then you just pick one, I suppose, and we'll go with the flow, because you were signed up really early as a footballer, wasn't you?
7,
which is so young.
Yeah.
And then they just let you go at 16.
Yeah.
And then there was an eating disorder, which I know somebody's who's going through that, and when you look at it and you delve into that subject, you don't realise how many people suffer from it. So there's that. There's you talk. I'm going to try not to talk too much. That's my problem. My self-awareness is I talk too much.
So. So obviously, there's
you pick and start.
It's weird because it's all done in like 10 years at football, 10 years of the eating disorder, and it's now 11 years into like my recovery journey, so to speak. But
how old are you? If you let me ask.
38 in 6 days.
No way.
So and obviously from recovering from the eating disorder, it's then like life just chucked me a whole load of stuff in terms of cancer scares, leg breaks, seemingly having.
This is after the eating disorder.
This is in the last 11 years.
Have you had a break yet? Or there's something happening all the time.
This is why I'm coming on here. Help me. There was that, and obviously then there was a marriage. Then there was the news when we obviously were looking at having kids that I'm infertile, and then very quick after the infertility results will come the affair and the divorce. So
you or she did?
Ex-wife, yeah.
Okay, let's go right to then that's a quick time. Let's go back. Yep. So as a young footballer, I love football. Yeah, we spoke about that. I do love football. You Reds, Nottingham Forest. But I know from football, and I've obviously know some ex-footballers as well, and it's similar to Richie with the army.
Yeah.
You didn't probably get to that stage, but it's very regimented life. You eat, you sleep, football, everything's just football. So that for them to then just say at 16, what club was it?
Charlton Athletic.
And they just went, sorry, mate.
It was just that we
There's
don't
no aftercare, is there?
No, we don't think you're tall enough. That was the
flipping heck.
I didn't start growing.
First thing I said to you when I saw you.
I know. That was the sucker punch for years. Obviously, not being like fully, I don't know. Like,
how tall was you at 16 then?
About 5'7", 5'8".
Bloody hell, you shot up then.
Yeah, obviously, obviously it goes back to the infertility stuff. Obviously, what they thought I had was obviously I didn't hit puberty until 18, 19, very late. Yeah, so it was like within the space of like 6 months to a year, it was like I was put in a pot of Miracle Grow and just shot up overnight.
No way.
So, but yeah, that was the biggest issue. Obviously back then, yeah, that was obviously we're talking 20. What was 20? I'm 37 now, and at 17, so it's like 20 years ago is when I got released. And obviously back then there wasn't aftercare, there wasn't really a lot of player welfare stuff or feeder clubs or.
In your head before they did that, in your head it was just I'm going to be a footballer.
Not a single doubt in my head.
So you've had like, which is horrible to have at that age. You're having like an identity crisis then.
That was the biggest. Again, I didn't understand what it was until
no plan B.
Yeah, no plan B. And it was like, yeah, go back to what you. That was it was like an apprentice style, like review. Sat on one side of the table, and then there's about 6 of your coaches. The other side, like obviously doing an appraisal.
With your parents or?
No. My parents were obviously in the. Well, my mum, my nan, and my granddad were in the clubhouse. Obviously, so you had to go. It's almost like the walk of shame to go back out. So, but yeah, it was. Thanks for your time. Obviously, went through all the good things, and then went through what they thought was the issues, and then obviously, their decision was obviously to not sign me as like obviously. But at 17, it was signing a professional contract, and then it was the last words were go back to what you know. I'd been
football,
and I'd been at that club for 10 years. So from 7 to 17, I didn't know nothing else. Obviously, I had relationships with obviously I went to private school as a kid, which is like a great opportunity looking back now from my parents. And then I went to like a grammar school. So like I had, I used to be able to leave early to get to London in time for training. Obviously training was 3 days a week and then games on a weekend. So yeah, I had, my whole life revolved around it. So it was like for that to be then taken away, it's like, oh, what am I now? That's what the issue was for me. Like my social circle, like I had my role. I was the popular, sporty person. He was Mr. Football, and then I'm not Mr. Football anymore. And so, yeah, who am I? Where do I fit in? And yeah, obviously,
what did your parents say? What advice did they give you at the time?
My parents were just like obviously they were proud of me anyway. However, that was it. Like I internalized everything as failure. I failed them. I failed myself. I failed my nan and granddad. I'd failed my friends. And it was obviously like I just. It's
an awful feeling to have at 17, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the thing was then obviously not that blokes still don't talk about stuff, do they really? But back then I just internalized everything, and had I had the conversation with them, would have things been different? Again, we would never know. But I just took it as in for 10 years they've driven me back and forth. Like my mum used to take me to training, and then my dad used to come on match days, and we'd travel the country. Obviously, we'd get on the bus and. Obviously, Charlton would put on a bus, and we just travel the country to play football. And I just thought, I've just wasted 10 years of their life, and that they've invested all this time and money, and they've got bugger all to show for it.
It's a horrible way to carry that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And as a parent, you wouldn't want your children to think like that.
No, but then the situation, or that was all on me because I didn't talk to them about it because that's what I thought. So that was red. There's no point me talking about it because I don't want them to just reinforce it. So I know that's the answer, and I'll just carry that. And obviously that's how.
And what did you do then?
Well, it was within the space of just over a year. I'd gone from obviously being at Charlton, got released, didn't do very well in my A levels, got told to leave. And obviously being at a grammar school, it's drummed into you to go to university. So I had to then go to college to get a different qualification to get enough UCAS points to go to uni. So I started at college, which was, again, having to leave my friends, failure. There's a common theme there. And then I think I started the college in the September at the new school year. And then my nan, my mum's mum, had lived in Peckham in London, sold a house to come and live with us. And then she got diagnosed with cancer the beginning of January and then passed away the beginning of March.
Bloody hell.
Obviously, when it was diagnosed, it was like palliative, it was like end of life. So she like gave up and let it consume her. So we had like Macmillan nurses at home. Obviously, being at college like a couple of days a week, it was just seeing that rate of decline. That was the final straw for me in regards to like, I'm not good enough for football. I'm not good enough for my friends. I'm not good enough to stay at school, and I'm not good enough to help my nan. It's like, well, you look at it now and you go, well, if the doctors can't save her, there's bugger all I can do. And obviously, like, school thing, okay, is what it is. I was never academic. Like, I was in the top. I was clever enough to go, like, past my 11 plus and go to grammar school, but I was definitely in, like, the bottom percentile with, like, my friends were just naturally clever, and I couldn't grasp it because of football. Like, it was like, that's right, I got football. So, and then obviously, yeah, the football thing not being there anymore as well. Just, like you said, complete lack of control, lack of identity. And obviously I took that control back in the form of what I ate or what I didn't eat. And that's how...
Did that start after your nan died or while she was ill?
Yeah, after. It was after that. It was just like this, like eruption in my head. Obviously mine...
Out of nowhere, like... do you remember it? Because trauma sometimes blocks out memories, doesn't it?
No, like in the anorexia, it was like the slow burn, because it started out as just... I just used to run. I just started running. As a way of...
Is that what it was, anorexia then?
Yeah, it was initially anorexia.
Because there's so many different
it was
versions, isn't
18 months of anorexia.
Is anorexia where you
don't eat?
You just don't eat at all, isn't
it's
it?
almost like the
Is that down
restriction.
to the way you view yourself, or... Because there's body dysmorphia as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I had that as well, but the initial... I think the anorexia was just slowly crept in, because it started with, obviously, I just felt numb. With all these things that happened, I didn't care anymore. I didn't have any feelings. But the running kind of gave me that runner's high, that endorphin rush that I probably got from football. So I replicated that with running. So I used to run.
And not eat at all?
It started out like normal, like normally eating. And then I went from like running for an hour a day to like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And then I went from like not eating in the morning. So I used to just run on an empty stomach, and that felt good. And then, it was just that progressive, like in the gym, like progressive overload. How do I push myself even more? Well, I just won't eat. So I cut back from like 3 meals to 2, and then from 2 to 1, and I just have dinner.
And this, you're on about the delay in puberty, weren't you? So was this before you hit puberty, or just after you hit puberty?
It was literally around the same time. And obviously that's where my...
Do you reckon that's part of it? Like the hormones around your body kicking in? I mean, you didn't need that at the time because your head's all over the place. And then now you've got a chemical cocktail happening inside you as well.
I think the thing was, it was a perfect storm. Because,
that's what I mean.
Because I shot up as well, so I naturally leaned out, which masked a lot of the initial weight loss. So in terms of like my parents not noticing it, nobody really noticed
putting it down to the running. And...
Yeah. And obviously, so my friends, obviously, where I left school and I'd gone to college, I still used to go out a couple of times a month with them to catch up. And obviously it got to the point where the initial weight loss, it was like, oh, you're looking well, mate. Like you've got taller and like you've leaned out and whatnot. And then obviously it went over the hill, and it started to like, you need a burger, mate. You need to...
The comments changed.
Yeah, then. And obviously, and then from that point, I just started to stop going out, stop replying to messages. And that's when I'd say that the anorexia like took hold, and then I just become a...
When did someone first become concerned with you? Was it your parents, your friends?
Yeah,
was it you who identified it?
It was the comments from friends. Obviously, my parents were worried, and had like obviously not... They brought it up loads of times, and so, oh no, I'm all right.
Was you aggressive with it? Did you bite back? Like leave me alone, or was it more?
Not at the start. I didn't. It was more when the bulimia started that I'll become aggressive. And
is bulimia with the one? Just to explain, bulimia, is that the one where you're being sick?
Yeah, bulimia. Yeah, I guess
you are eating, but you're being sick.
Yeah, but it's more with me. It was more like I wouldn't just eat like normal meals. I'd eat like 10 pizzas, like proper just binging on food. And the way that obviously, what happened, that was the weight loss, and it was about 18 months of this running and restriction cycle that my mum took me to the doctors. And obviously we explained the situation, my mum explained the situation to the doctors. Bearing in mind I would have been like 18, obviously I still let her in. So there was still clearly something in my subconscious was like, let her talk, because I can't talk myself, because I know I'd bullshit them and lie. And so that's when the doctor was like, yeah, we think it's from what you said and the trauma and the restriction and the over excessive exercising, and we think it's anorexia. And it was like, what the hell's that? Like, it was back then, you know, like obviously all the soaps and newspapers cover it now because it's somewhat glamorized. There was nothing about it. So it was like, that sounds bad. And obviously then they explained what it was. But unfortunately, the reality was, by the time that it got diagnosed, I'd already, I still remember my first binge to this day. The first time it ever happened was that my mum and dad went out for food to like restaurant, and obviously left me at home. And I remember just being, like, even with the anorexia, I was chronically hungry, like all the time, obsessed with cooking food programs. And I remember just one, the evening that I was home alone, which again, that was the trigger. If I was alone, I couldn't not do it. Obviously how secretive it is. I remember just literally eating everything in the fridge, to this point where obviously like I looked like I was pregnant, like stomach was like distended and all that. And it was like this, I felt the food going in and being in my belly, I felt comfort, like someone was giving me a hug. And then that literally, the click of fingers, that turned to shame, as in you've got to get it out of you. You can't even do this. You can't even you can't even like not eat. So
awful.
So there was just this constant war going on in my head of like, and that's what the bulimia was. It was 8 years of being at war with myself. Like, I need
8 years.
I need to eat, but I couldn't just eat like a normal meal, a normal like diet. It would have to be, I'd have to go OTT with everything.
Controlled.
Yeah, but it would be like I'd only eat foods that I demonise in my head with the anorexia. So in my head it was like I can only eat like pasta and chicken and broccoli and rice. When obviously in the back of my mind I was like, I'd love a pizza, I'd love a McDonald's. So obviously when the bulimia started, I was like, I can have all them foods that I demonise because I know I wouldn't keep them down. And obviously that's where, with me, the bulimia was more of a food addiction wrapped up in a mental health problem as well. Obviously I needed that fix of just having these foods, but in stupid amounts.
And was you living your life at the same time? Was you still running? Was you still going to college?
No,
everything just stopped.
By that point, obviously, I got through college. I'd been in. This was been like at 20 that bulimia properly started, and that was like my first year of uni. So I managed to get through, I think, 18 months at uni, so like a year and a half of uni, and that's when the bulimia was really bad. And I think one of the reasons that didn't really help, like after my nan passed away, she left my brother and I 10 grand each. My brother used it to put a deposit down for a house, and I used it to buy food to sit down the toilet.
No way.
And obviously then being at university as well, but people can relate to this, like the student unions, when all the banks would come, do you want a student overdraft, student loan? So I racked up so much debt as well, which again, it's like another thing that isn't really spoke about.
Yeah, we wouldn't even associate that with that.
Yeah, obviously, because you think the anorexia, when you say eating disorder, people think you don't eat, but obviously with bulimia and depending on what it may just be that you eat a normal amount and you don't keep it down, or you go full blown batshit, and that's what I did. I'd use it as I was basically nocturnal for 8 years. I'd wait for my parents to go to bed. Because again, it's the shame. Like deep down in your subconscious, you know what you're doing is wrong, because otherwise you do it in front of people. Obviously you don't. So I'd wait for my parents to go to bed. So from like 10:30 till 6 in, I'd come alive. I'd do nothing during the day. I'd pretty much sleep and just be like a zombie. And then when they went to bed, I'd obviously come alive and have all my foods, and then just basically spend however many hours watching telly, eating food, making myself sick.
What's your personality of your mum and dad like? Were they? Is like one more outwardly aggressive? Are they both quite conservative? How did they deal with it? Did they go through the roller coaster emotions of, you know, trying to obviously show you care and love, and then the next minute, come on, snap out of it, Jane? You know, how did that look from there?
Yeah, my parents have always been very, very laid back. Never been like autocratic in their parental style in any way. However, my mum and dad took good cop, bad cop. Because obviously
Who was the bad cop?
Mum.
Really?
Yeah, my mum was on me like a hawk. Like she used to just watch me, and the thing that my mum always did was, it's probably a mother's prerogative, isn't it? Where they try and catch you in a lie. They know they know the answers, but they'll ask you anyway, and just to go, well, we know that's not true. That's what my mum used to be like. So, yeah, my mum and dad, they've been together. Both of them this year turned 70. My dad in September and my mum in December. They've been together for they've been together for 56 years.
Yeah.
Obviously married for, God, I don't know, 50. So they're like each other's rocks, and I was the biggest strain on their marriage. And I mean, like, they were close to, my mum was close to leaving because she saw that my dad was just enabling me by not challenging me. And then my dad was saying to my mum, she was too harsh on me. And obviously it was like, yeah, but if we took your approach, he'd never change. And then my dad's approach is, yeah, but if I took your approach, he'd fuck off. At least he's under our roof and we can look after him or whatnot. And it was, yeah, but
it's
they weren't.
An awful position to be in for the parents' perspective, isn't it? There's no right answer for them, is
there's
there?
not. There's where's the blueprint? Like there's blueprints to bringing up a baby and whatnot, but not to deal with someone that's got a mental health problem. And obviously, it was never in the family. There was never anybody that had any.
You can't draw upon experience.
No.
Like, oh, I know when Dave went through this, or Janine, we did this. Yeah.
And even also, back then there was not a lot. There was not a lot of anything around eating disorders, and especially for men. Like the whole 10 years of my eating disorder,
I won't even think about men.
Yeah,
myself.
Yeah,
you know, I'm meant to be open and self-aware. I didn't even think that men suffered from it.
The only people that I ever interacted with were either male doctors or the dads of the girls that were obviously in treatment.
How bad did it get?
At 21, I was 5.5 stone.
Your height now? You're this height?
Yeah.
Flipping it.
Yeah, like honestly, I used to...
5.5 stone?
Yeah, I used to pass out at home. If I got up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, you know, if you get out the chair quick, if you haven't eaten, you see stars. I'd see stars and then I'd be on the floor. Like, I wouldn't know how long I'd been there. And obviously that happened more and more. And it normally used to happen at night, so my parents wouldn't see it, and obviously I wouldn't tell them. But I think there was one occasion where I did it in front of them on a Saturday morning or whatever, and I hit my head on the kitchen. I had like marble-ish tiles hit my head. No. And then obviously I woke up in hospital, and that's when
they didn't let you back out.
Pretty much. I think I was in there for a few weeks. And obviously at that point, because mental health and eating disorders weren't like prevalent, the waiting list, there was an eating disorder unit in Croydon, which was apparently like one of the best down south. There was a 5-year waiting list for that. And obviously, like, my dad's like, we'll be dead by then. 100% I would have been dead. But Maidstone, obviously where I was born and where I grew up, they had a eating disorder unit called the Red House. And I was basically, they weighed me while I was in hospital, and that's when I was like, hey, it's like 40 something kilo, like 40 point something kilo. And I was on drips. I had potassium and phosphate in my arms because of where I was chronically making myself sick. I didn't know when to stop. So it's not like I'd go, I think I've eaten everything now. I'd keep going until there was blood, minerals, like all kinds of different colours coming up. Sorry to trigger anyone. But yeah, obviously, I wasn't just bringing up the food. It was obviously everything that was in my system as well. So I was completely depleted of potassium and phosphate. Like, I'd cramp up all day, every day. So I was on phosphate to kind of rehydrate me, and then
you were locked in this mental prison, weren't you? Then, and there's no answer. There's no magic key just to open it up. Because there's not a drug you can take. There's nothing. No,
honestly, and this is whereby, like, again, I'm not. It's no different to men or women. I just don't think people understand that there's eating disorders, and I think obviously everyone naturally thinks you don't eat, but with the bulimia, and again obviously with the anorexia, the outcome is still the same. It's a slow suicide. That's all it is. It's just you. It's a waiting game. If you
your body's shutting down.
Yeah, if you don't sort yourself out soon enough, something's going to give. And obviously, while I was in Maidstone Hospital, my kidneys and my liver were shutting down, and obviously the next thing was going to be my heart. So I was on a do not resuscitate order while I was in there.
Joking.
That my parents had to sign.
God, but they were in bits signing that.
Well, at the time, I was 21, basically. Well, being hydrated and not well fed, and obviously, if I went into cardiac arrest, they wouldn't have attempted to revive me.
And why is that?
Because my potassium levels were that low, which are like
you couldn't have coped with it.
No, if my heart stopped, there would have been nothing I had nothing in my system to restart it.
Flipping it.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have even attempted CPR or anything, which is, again,
that's that close to death. There, isn't it?
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and obviously, like, I'm staring that in the face, and it's just like, no, just. It's not that
because you're like just dead inside, or
and because the question I had in therapy was like, if you had suicidal thoughts, I was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. It was like, but this is my life. But this is, I'm not doing this. I was it was almost like, if I had them thoughts and I wanted to do it, this would not be the way that I'd pick. I would not pick 8 years, 8 years of this. And obviously, well, it was not that many years then, but obviously that's how long it was with the bulimia. I said, but I'd have picked something a bit more instant than this. I said, it's not the fact I don't want to be here. It's just, this has just become my life. This is me. Like, and obviously the identity crisis was that I had the football, I had the education, that had all gone. I was too ill to work, so I was signed off on whatever it was at the time. It was job seekers allowance, and then whatever it was, like, and then I couldn't physically work. It's like, well, I've got nothing. The only thing I have got is the eating disorder
and the control of it. Yeah,
so if I get rid of that, I've got nothing. So it's like that Stockholm syndrome, and obviously like this angel and devil on my shoulder. Like I knew I had a problem coming out of the eating disorder unit. It was like the rose tinted glasses had come off, and I saw myself for how I was, and I looked so fucking ill. I think like even some of my parents' friends like thought I had cancer, and again I looked like there's only a handful of pictures, but I looked like a crackhead. It looked like I was addicted to something, and that's when I realised that I had the problem. But it was
did you look in the mirror much before that? Then no, you looked at yourself there.
I looked at the mirror before, and I'd be like, I could still lose weight. I still need to lose this,
even like 5.5 stone.
Yeah. Obviously, and but obviously the complete confused state of my head was obviously like, I still think I was fat, but yet I would wear vest, t-shirt, hoodie, jumper, coat to sit in the house. So it's like I was obviously trying to mask it to other people. So somewhere in me I knew, but obviously that's what, when you have a mental disorder, like you just do crazy shit.
But like you said, when you had that realization, this is the like the wonder of humans, if you like, or if you go into a spirituality sense of it, someone might say, oh, that was his guardian angels kicking in for him or whatever, because you've looked in mirrors, you know what you look like, and then something was triggered for you to go, do you know what? The rose tinted glasses, they say, come off.
Yeah. Well,
it's interesting to think what that was and why, isn't it?
I think I spent what was it, 6 months in the eating disorder unit, and obviously I couldn't be an inpatient. I had to be a day patient because there were 11 other girls on the ward, and I couldn't be an inpatient because of mixed sex. There couldn't be a guy sleeping there. So my job then was 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. I'd be in the unit. So I had a lot of time, a lot of free time, and obviously it was like you'd eat, you'd sit on the dining table, be watched, monitored. You weren't allowed to leave after eating for like an hour or so. Then you'd have therapy sessions, and the rest of the time you were just sitting on your phone. So this would have been like...
What did the therapy sessions look like? What did they say to you? Because they'd be experts at it, I take it. They've done it a million times with a million different people.
Yeah, you think they'd be experts, but obviously the first therapy session I ever had, and obviously again,
was it a bit wet, like, how are you feeling?
No,
a bit like that, or
no, it was a bit like it was a man. It was like this is an exciting one for me, James, because you're the first bloke I've ever dealt with.
No,
because usually it's women, it's a woman's problem, and that was the first time. Again, it was because it was someone external. It was in like, you're right, I haven't seen any other guys. So what? And obviously that was like, well, am I not a man?
Oh,
that was my.
Yeah. I thought that when you said that, then I thought you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. So again, it was like opening up Pandora's box. Then I was like, oh, so I'm not a man then. So that was I think that night when I got home, I had a massive binge, and like punishment and
relapsed.
Whatnot. Yeah, big time.
What a daft thing to say as a therapist. Even I thought that. I'm not even a therapist. I thought I wouldn't say that.
So the therapy in there I didn't find that very useful. Like I've had therapy in other occasions in my life, and they have been. I think it's just very much like the
NHS version wasn't. You mean that?
The specialist eating disorder therapists apparently, but obviously again it's like coaches.
It's just like rabbits in a parrot in a textbook. Isn't it?
Pretty much. But obviously it's like coaches, isn't it? Like you find someone you vibe with, and other ones you don't. If you find the right therapist, you're away. So it's just didn't really match.
And did you find the right therapist then?
After I found it was like a sports psychologist. That's who was my biggest help. Like a few years after that, but I've had.
When you were still going through it though?
Oh no, there was no the therapy there wasn't good. But then also I have to take accountability for that myself, because I still didn't really want to change. So it's like when you're speaking to someone that you don't really want to admit your problems, because you're still lying to yourself. You're not gonna vibe with them, because it's like if they get in my head, like, so that you're not getting in my head. So I'll just used to people please, and I know I need to change, and like deep down,
just tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah, 100%.
God, you think they'd be able to spot that, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I have to say I was a very good liar. I was a very good liar. The only person I couldn't lie to was my mum. But yeah, so it was just a very dark. Let's see, it was about 24 was when I realised that I need to change. But then it was like you do something for 6 years.
It's a habit form. That is flipping heck. What did they say? 21 days to form a habit, or 3 months or something.
Yeah, and it had been reinforced for so long. While basically it wasn't like a. I don't want to dismiss like if you're smoking, you can still do that while living a relatively normal life with your job and social interaction. Obviously, this stripped me from everything. Like I had nothing.
Can't live your life.
No. So it's like, then it's just like, well, you try and beat that. It's like,
are your friends giving up on you by now? The texts have slowly stopped coming.
Yeah.
The
the thing is, I don't hold any grudges to them.
No,
I've completely lost contact with all my friends that I had from school, but because it was just like you message someone and it's like, yeah, I'll respond, I'll go out, and then I respond by saying no, then I don't respond, and they keep messaging for a bit.
Yeah, you can't expect them to have that tenacity to keep going for years.
100% no. So I wasn't. Yeah, no one was really checking in on me. Obviously, my parents didn't really know what to do.
Was there a wider family? Did they know or help or?
Obviously,
is there a wider family?
I've got an older brother, but obviously he was at uni throughout most of the time I had the eating disorder, and obviously then when he finished uni, he just started working, and he stayed up in Sheffield as well. So he was luckily for him, he was away from it all. So
his world wasn't wobbled too much by it.
No, see, I'm sure they had multiple conversations with him about it, but it was more of a. Luckily for him, it's like out of sight, out of mind. And I used to be so close to my brother, especially with the whole football growing up. Obviously, he's 5 years older than me, so I was used to playing against someone that was 5 years older. So my rate of improvement was amazing because I was just used to playing with someone older, stronger, fitter, faster. So we were very close. And obviously, when he went off to uni, that's when obviously we started going clubbing before he took a year, like a
gap year.
That's it. And then at like 17 or 18, like we lost him really because he was just traveling the country and the world, just going clubbing. So, and I think, I don't know, was that a factor? Probably somewhere deep down, like I'd lost contact with him. But yeah, so it was just 24 was when I realised that I'm actually fucked here because I genuinely know I've got a problem. I've got no idea where to start. How do you start fighting it when it's so strong? And obviously it was just like this angel devil on my shoulder, as in like, no, you can do this, mate. You can do this. And it's like, no, you won't do it because all you've got is me. Like, what are you going to be if you get rid of it? And so, yeah, it was like the whole, you'd be all right for a few days and then you'd relapse just randomly. And then I got like the biggest change for me was, like I said, was them being put in touch with a sports psychologist who used to work for Gillingham Football Club, and he was the England cricket team. He was like the sports psychologist for them. So the approach with him was very much different to the therapist, where they're trying to pinpoint the exact moment everything started, and it's just like, I can tell you that. Like, I've got all this shit happen. I've had like a perfect upbringing, perfect life, the epitome of like a spoilt kid that had everything that he'd wanted, and then all this crap happened.
I looked at the statistics behind it. It's quite normal for it to be from a nicer background that it happens to.
Yeah. Because it's like, I had no adversity as a kid. So then like you got big 3 traumatic events, which one of them could have probably been enough. But the 3 of them together was just like, it just caused this absolute shitstorm. But his approach was, yes, you've got an eating disorder. Yes, you've had it for, obviously by then it was like 7 or 8 years. Do you want it? Do you want this to be your life? And it was like, no, I don't. What do you want? And obviously my point then was, I just wanted to be like have value, to actually have a purpose. It was like, and in order to do that, it was like, I need to get back into work, to actually be like a cog in a wheel. And that's what it was. It was obviously he with his help and my dad's help through his network. Obviously he got me a job as a business development manager for a double glazing company, which is, again, chuck you in at the deep end in regards to resilience and being told to fuck off all the time on the phone. But it was just that was the start. Meeting the sports psychologist and getting back into work. That was the real start of me.
Yeah, if you were a graph, it was just like that. And it's
exactly that. Yeah. And so that would have been I think it was 25. It would have been 25 because I know I literally worked there every day for 18 months and I didn't take a day off because I realised that
transferred your attention.
It's what it was. It's all it was transference. Like I'd realised by then that boredom was a killer, and boredom was the killer and the trigger. So it's like when I got home, laptop open, lead sourcing for the following day, and then by the time I do that, it's like by the time I had a shower or a bath, I ate my dinner, go to bed. Like I was limiting that time to sit in my own head because I didn't trust myself.
Kept yourself busy.
Yeah, and obviously, and slowly by then I started to win the days. I'd have like 3 out of the 7 days, or 4 out of the 7 days were good. So I'd won that. So I'd won the week, and obviously there'd be ebbs and flows. But eventually, it got to a point where I was starting to win more weeks out of the month, and then more months out of the year. And then working there every day, he basically told me to take a week off. Have a break. Seriously, have a break.
Did he know what you were going through?
Yeah. I think not again, probably from conversations with my dad, but again, does anyone
really know? Yeah, unless you're going through something, you don't know it.
Again, but like this would have been like 25, so like 12 years ago. Again, what was society like? Again,
when you look back on that, James, 12 years ago,
I don't know him.
Yeah,
I really don't like that.
If he sat in front of you now, you'd be like, what would you say?
I'm glad you never gave up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Probably that.
Got me there. Yeah, you got me there, James. You got me.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, so it was back then it was like this was a guy that was like a bloke's bloke, like run a double glazing company, used to go to the pub and stuff. So it was like eating disorders that straight over his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he made me take a week off, and that's when I went up to my brother. I went up to Sheffield for a week and just thought, I'm in a better headspace. Like I was still ill and I was still like so skinny, but mentally I was.
Scientifically, were you okay? Like, was your heart levels and all them things back to normal?
Yeah,
now?
I was in a.
What weight was you?
Well, I know when I first started going to the gym at 28, I was 9.5 stone, so I was still massively underweight.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like the BMI, I was like. On the low end, very, very low end, on the cusp of like normal or underweight, whatever it was. Whereas before, I think maybe 10 was like if you get to 10, you're probably discharged from the eating disorder unit. And I think I was like 3 or 4 when I first went. It was like fucked, and which is weird because in the unit, like you do the whole, I'm not as bad as there. I'm not bad as that. Fucking hell, like not bad as that. And when you look at it on a scale, like, mate, you're the worst one here. You're the worst one here. Like, but again, it's just like, well, yeah, it's just like comparison. It's like, well, yeah, I've got it bad, but not as bad as there. And they're probably saying the exact same thing to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I moved. Yeah, had a week of holiday in Sheffield with my brother, and that's when
partying or just
no, just catching up. It's been so long since we'd seen each other properly. Obviously, he'd come back for Christmases and whatnot, but never go up there. And it was kind of again, like I said, it was more of a stepping out my comfort zone. Like if I wasn't at my parents', I was at my apartment.
Was you driving?
Yeah, drove. And
so you did all your testing. You did all that.
I did all that when I was 17. I had it all planned. So like, I was driving before I left school. But yeah, so I spoke. I obviously said obviously about coming up, and it was more of pushing myself out of comfort zones. Like, and I moved out of my parents' house when I was 26, but I literally moved like 10 minutes down the road. Like, what's the fucking point of that? Because I'd spend just as much time really at home because I was still
doing your washing and ironing.
Yeah. Well, probably my ironing definitely, but washing I probably was all right. But it was more of like I knew that I was on this. I was teetering on recovery, and it was almost like, you know, when someone has done you wrong and they're trying to overcompensate. So I'd always go over for meals, just so they knew I was eating. Oh,
that's nice. So, that's the empathy in you again coming back out.
Yeah. So and then it was just like, see, going up to my brother's. He worked for a project management company, like a construction fit out company. And while I was up there, they were looking for a construction buyer. And it was like my past jobs that I tried and failed because I had no resilience, and I was just obsessed with food, and I was not focused or target driven in any way because I was just wrapped up with my own shit. But it was like, this is you. This is like your background on paper. So it was like a bit of sales, a bit of like account management. I was like, but I've got a job. I'm all right. I'm not moving up to Sheffield. It's like, have a word with him. I was like, I've not got a suit. I've come up in normal clothes.
Suit.
Like, so I was thinking like interview and whatnot. So end up having a chat with them. And then and there at the interview, they were like, perfect. Like,
do you want it?
Job's yours if you want it. And it was like double the salary and half my living costs. Obviously, Maidstone.
Compared to Sheffield.
Yeah. It's just so it was like.
Isn't it amazing how the universe rewards that out of your comfort zone? You've done something out of your comfort zone. And the universe has gone, there you go.
Yeah.
Have an opportunity while you're
in. And obviously that's the moment I said to you. It was like this, like, you get these like seminal moments in your life where you go, am I ready? Probably not. Is an opportunity like this going to come up again if I pass it by? Probably not. Fuck it. Let's just, if it don't work, I can come back. I have to try. I have to, because there's not many times over the last, like,
the not knowing's going to hurt more than giving it a go.
Yeah, and it's like the 10 years I've not really pushed myself. Is this too much too soon? Who knows? So I decided to do it. Felt guilty as hell going back to my boss. Like, I know you told me to take a week off. Yeah, here's my notice. Like,
thanks for everything.
Yeah. So so I moved up to Sheffield, moved everything up, and lived like a baller, because obviously down south, I think even back then, my apartment was maybe like £1,000 a month. So I ended up moving up, and I got a penthouse apartment in Sheffield
for the same
for like £800, and everyone was like, "You're paying £800 to be in Sheffield." I was like, "I've got a penthouse. I'm saving £200 a week, £200 a month." I was like, I've won the lottery here. Obviously, I had a lot of not disposable income back then, but then 6 months in, got made redundant.
No.
Yeah, so it was like, and that really was probably the first real resilience test from.
Did you save any? You have any savings? You blew it all.
Well, no, I had some, but obviously it was more, again, I didn't really have a lot of time to build up any type of bank. And the other thing was, I think we worked out, I probably got myself into about 40 grand's worth of debt over the 8 years of the bulimia. Like,
so you were chipping away at that as well?
Yeah. You remember Wonga? The payday? Yeah, I was their best customer.
No.
Yeah. I used to just use them to like rob, it was like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah. And so it took me about 9 years to sort out my credit rating and whatnot. But yes, I got made redundant, and then obviously speaking to my dad was like, "Just come back. Like, we'll pay you 6 months rent." I was like, "I can't. What a waste. Like, see what I can do." So what do you do when life goes to shit and you've now not got a job and really not got any money? I fucked off to Sharm el Sheikh. I went to Egypt on my own.
Did you?
I was like, okay,
why there?
I think it was either Turkey or Egypt.
You know you were there or anything? Or?
No. Again, it was like this. I felt better in myself, and I was like, I've never been on a holiday before, and I guess I didn't really know. Obviously, a lot of what you talk about on your podcast is like self-improvement, self-awareness. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I'll go on holiday. I'll have a bit of clarity while I'm away of what I want to do. And obviously, what I didn't realise was like what an important step that was. Like doing solo holiday. That's fucking massive for someone that was basically a hermit. And so I decided that I might as well see out the next 6 months. I don't want to be seen as a failure again, so I'll try and make it work. And then I got a job at the Sheffield Star, which is like the local newspaper. And then for some really fucking weird reason, I was like, I want to start dating. So I went. I haven't
even touched on it. That
I've joked about it in the past. Like, I didn't have an erection for 10 years
because of that.
There's nothing going on down there. I was on like survival mode. So. Yeah, no arousal. I think I'd have probably passed out if that would have. Yeah,
because your body prioritises, doesn't it?
I think all the blood would have gone there. I'm done. So yeah, you got to laugh about it now. And then so I went on. The only one I heard of at the time was Plenty of Fish, and not to get the violins out for me, but it was the only girl I matched with. The only person that matched with me was a girl that was like 15 minutes down the road from me, and then she became my new priority. Like, we spent obviously 6 months dating, and then my apartment came up for renewal, and then she was like, "Do you want to move in with me?" And it was like, yeah, all right. So I moved in with her and a young daughter, and that was like the next year taken up of, again, unbeknownst to me, with how secretive the eating disorder is, how it is with the bulimia and the secretive nature of it all. I then moved into her world, her routine, and adapted to her routine, which is like a selfless act for someone, but I didn't even know I was doing it. So again, that was like another level of progress up the ladder mentally. Together a year, and then one day going to work, James, I'm going to stay at my dad's tonight. I don't love you anymore.
Fucking.
When I come back tomorrow, I don't want you to be there. And it was like, what the fuck? What am I going to do?
Out the blue to you?
Out the blue. Like, again, I was completely wet behind the ears. I would, if there were red flags.
Yeah, because you were naive to.
I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm in love. Like, this is it. Yeah. I'm family. And like, yeah. So at that moment, I stayed in a hotel for a couple of days, and then I moved in with my brother. And that's when
And you're still not relapsed. You're still not.
No, hadn't really, and especially when I moved in with my brother, because I was like, whatever happens, you do not put him through shit. And obviously, him and he was married by then. He was obviously my sister-in-law. I was like, I can't do that to him, and that's when I got my own closure. My own closure was, I remember just staring at myself in the mirror and berating myself like, you're a piece of shit. Like, no wonder why she left you. So my closure was that I didn't look like a man, and that's what was the catalyst. How do I become a man? I go to the gym. So
I just come to you.
Yeah, it was because I think it was just like this. I didn't see it coming.
What weight are you? I know you shouldn't talk about weight too much because of what you've been through, but I want to just try and get a picture of what you look like.
That was I was 9.5 stone when I first started going to the gym, and again the first. That's
still not enough, is it?
No,
I was about to say,
no, not at all. Obviously, again,
you can't tell on camera, but he's a big tall bloke.
It's like 6'4". So yeah, I'm above average for height. And then I remember going to the gym, and there was a gym literally over the road from where I used to live with her. So in my head, I was like, if she sees me getting bigger, she'll want me back. We'll play Happy Families. And then I did catch the gym bug. I went in there the first day, I spoke to Mark, who owned it, and I just bared my soul to him. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. Never been to the gym really in my life.
Yeah, what's a rep? What's a 1 rep max? What's all this? Yeah.
And I was like, this is my situation. I've had this. Again, telling my stories, like the more people I tell, again, I didn't know what I was doing. It's like public declaration. The more people that know about my stuff, if I ever went back, someone will challenge me on it. And he was just like, mate, I hear you. Like my son's like a junior bodybuilder. And he used to be Mr. Britain. It was like a proper old school gym. It wasn't like a commercial gym, like a pure gym. Other gyms are available. And he was just like, he's like, if you want to change, train with my son and just do what he says. And that's what I did. So
because obviously you're way from going right back to football days. And the way you eat. So that was suited you completely.
Yeah, it was. It was just.
I got to think. Just do that.
Exactly that. And I've seen that, and that's how I'm wired now. Still to this day. And obviously, this is whereby, like, I'm so thankful for football because of how regimented it made me and how structured. I was regimented and structured with the eating disorder.
So was you putting on weight now? Because this guy, the son, would have said to you. You need more food, didn't you?
And obviously this is where
you get into protein shakes and creatine, all them sort of things.
Yeah, protein, creatine, like tuna salad and just like pasta and.
So he's teaching you at the same time nutrition.
Yeah, and obviously, so I ended up going on in 18 months. I went from 9.5 stone to 15 stone.
Brilliant.
Obviously, tracked the journey on Instagram and Facebook, and obviously that's where my Instagram blew up because of the transformation. Never really spoke about the eating disorder on a public forum because back then, it's not that I was ashamed of it because I speak about it to anyone in my network. I just didn't think that it was a thing.
I suppose in your head you were done with it as well, weren't you, I suppose? Or
I talk about it if people ask me about it, but I wouldn't openly talk about it because I didn't put it together as in, well, not many blokes have it, not many blokes have probably recovered how I've recovered. I just thought, like, well, it's just my life. This is just.
And even though obviously we're saying about the bloke and female thing, it doesn't mean a female can't be inspired by your journey of an eating disorder.
The track,
because the mentalness is the mental.
Yeah, everything goes back to your mindset. Obviously, I had a very privileged upbringing and a positive mindset. I had a very positive mindset of football, like regimented, like structured. I lived the life, and the sad fuck that I am. Obviously, I'm back playing football now, and like I treat football like every game's like Champions League, like early bed beforehand, like wake up in the morning, like little walk to stretch my legs, like light breakfast, and then
get the game, visualizing the game before, and
like watch. I sometimes obviously I went through a stage of like filming my games, and I watch games back. I watched loads of YouTube videos of goalkeeper saves. That's like my to get me in the zone, and that's it. So, like again, everything I did, like, and that's where the backstory, like who you were as a kid, and your upbringing really does shape who you become, but you don't really know it until very later on.
Well, going right back to the who you are thing, because it's people don't think about it. Like when you're in the womb, if you were just born into a field, who would you become? Because really, the personality traits of your mother and your father are put on you, the culture around you, the people you mix with, the town
product
you live
of your
in.
environment.
All these things are imprinted on.
Yeah.
And so you don't really know who you are because...
No.
And then mother and father's personalities are from their mother and father's and their mother and father.
Yeah.
So it's
so on and so forth.
Yeah, well, I won't get into that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, and then the Instagram blew up. And
what happened like that? Is it like overnight or was it gradual?
Very, very quick. Like we're talking within a few months, I'd gone from a few hundred followers to like 10,000, 20,000. Because I think when it first started blowing up, I had a private account. So I'd wake up in the morning to like 200 requests. And it was just like tapping. I was like, I'll just make it public. And obviously, it was crazy. And then obviously I got into my ego stage. Like most blokes probably have their egos.
I think you half deserved it after all.
Well, to be fair.
After what you've just been through. But you've lost 20 years, exactly, 10 years of your life.
Exactly that. So it's like most lads...
You can enjoy it. Ego's not always a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like... And again, I came at the ego stage...
Because of the attention of Instagram.
Yeah, but I was a bit more... I was self-aware at the time as well. Like I knew I was going through it.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and obviously that's where like...
What women's side of things as well, you mean? Or...
I've never really been a womanizer. Again, despite everyone thinking I'm a fuckboy, which is based on like the fact that I'm tanned. Obviously, I'm in shape. Go to the gym, and I'll obviously become a PT. Obviously, everyone just thought, Jack the lad. And it's just like, if only you knew.
Yeah, because
like again, if people say it, I'd be like, I wouldn't challenge them on it because if you knew me, you know that I'm not. So it was like but the ego stage was more of the attention and the comments and
just enjoying them.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
I thought you meant like you really like abused it.
No, but playing it in regards to like every workout I did, I'd take my top off and so it was like that kind of ego.
I think you deserve that.
Yeah, but the thing was that I was.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I was.
Do you agree that you deserve and you was right to enjoy that time?
100%. I do know that I became a little bit above my station. But again, it's just
so the universe bring you down. So usually something happens to bring you back down a bit.
I fucking did that. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, but it built me up a little bit more because I then got into modelling.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, become a model.
Did someone find you and contact you?
Yeah. It was all Instagram. It was all Instagram, and then I got on Celebs Go Dating.
Did you?
Yeah, went on that. That was fun.
Who did you date?
It was talking to Kerry Katona.
Oh right, so you've had.
Yeah, there was three. It was like three of us. We were at this like mixer event, and she was picking a date for a woman that was in Hollyoaks. So they were picking dates for other people. So there was like three of us around the table, and it was just obviously like the clip itself lasted, I don't know, like a couple of minutes. But obviously we were there all day, and it was just being in a room around like wannabe influencers, and it was just like, this is fucking awful. Like, because it was like I'm not.
It's too surface for you, not deep enough. Like,
and it's like I'm here for my backstory is very different to what most people are there for. And don't get me wrong, I made friends with a couple of guys that I'm still in contact today with. Like one of which is like proper close mate, and but a lot of them in there it was like because I'm not life and soul. I'm especially when I'm in a new environment. I'm an observer. I like to figure people out and be like, without being rude, it's like, she's a dickhead, he's a twat. Like you kind of know who the people are. So like I'll gravitate to people that like I'll be scanning the room and there'll be someone else scanning and we'll look at each other and be like,
yeah, you're me, you are, yeah.
And so I did that, but it wasn't until it was like we broke for lunch.
They were all like,
like
fake
just running around like chasing the camera to be on the show, and it was like it wasn't until we stopped for a break or drinks. And everyone passed each other's phones around to follow each other. And it was like, by that point, I may have had like 40, 50,000 followers. And it's like to see people's change in their behaviour based on, it was fucking, it was like...
Obvious,
look, they'd come over and just sit with you. What do you do?
Like, it's so cringy.
Like, fuck off.
Oh, no.
Like, you could not make it any more obvious. And it's just like, so, again, because I'd had a whole load of crap, like, you can spot people like that a fucking mile off, and it's like I just wouldn't give them time of day. And then I got.
It's like you've earned who you are. It's like that, isn't it? And you're okay with yourself. You understand
and I think that's where by like for years I got the whole he's on steroids and all that.
Did
you?
Haters.
And it was just
Haters
like
everywhere.
I took that as the biggest compliment ever. I'd be like, thank you. The fact you think I'm on gear, I've worked fucking.
Is that all the nego comments happening?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a gear.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, and even like people's first.
Do you reply to them all?
No.
Just ignore them.
No, to me, I've never really responded to the haters. It's like water.
Why is that? Do you know a guy called Arms Corleone? Do you know? ARMZ.
That name.
Quite big on social media.
Right. That rings a bell. I probably. Yeah,
you will have a look after.
Yeah.
His interview's coming out, but he said the same thing. And he says, I don't even drink.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even drink, and I'm getting these comments.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how people can't imagine that could be achieved, that body could be achieved?
Yeah, and again, but that's how I spin it as a compliment, because it's like,
it is a massive compliment.
Yeah, it's just like, okay,
do you think this is that good?
Yeah, I know.
That I need to cheat.
Yeah,
nice one.
Thank you. So yeah, but I then got into, I then joined an agency, and then I did all the soaps.
Did you go back a second? Because I want to know about that. Did you actually date?
I did. No, she ended up. I don't know who she picked in the end. It was
just all background stuff then.
Right.
Go on, go to the next stage, and you're in a soap.
Yeah, so then I've done all the soaps. Barring EastEnders, I've done all the soaps.
What speaking roles? Extra.
I was extras on Corrie. I had a speaking role for like a month as a builder on Hollyoaks.
No way.
And I was also involved with a storyline with Sienna, whose kids got abducted.
This is Hollyoaks.
Yeah, kids got abducted and went to Spain, and then she travelled to Spain, and the kids were basically like sold, and I was the new kid's dad. So she breaks into my apartment, and it's like my pictures everywhere with the kids. It's just like it's funny because I wouldn't tell a lot of people. Yet everyone for football would be like filming it, tagging me in it, put it on the story, saying he's fucking here again. It's like he gets about, doesn't he? But it's just like
Do you have any acting lessons or?
No.
How did you get the gig then?
Again, just like
Instagram again.
Yeah.
Man,
joint an agency, and then it was just like,
what agency is it?
There's been a couple. There was Mint Casting, which were based in Manchester. They were the biggest ones for me.
Why not with them anymore?
I went through. We'll get into it in a bit. 3 broken legs in 8 months.
What?
Because of football, and obviously that took me up during lockdown. So it was like during that time, I was unavailable to do any work, and obviously it was just like, can you do this? No. Can you do this? No.
They stop asking then, don't they?
Yeah. So I joined a couple after that, but then kind of after lockdown, obviously life took a bit of a different turn. So I didn't really have the time because I was doing other things. So, but yeah, it was like, but the biggest one for me was working for Adidas. I did quite a few jobs for Adidas, for like commercial ones. So yeah,
through that Mint Casting.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, so I got to.
Yeah, for what would they pay you or give you the free gear?
You got right pay.
Do you?
Yeah, like
did you get to keep the gear. I take it you were modelling the gear, was you?
No, we were background behind. Obviously, I did 2 jobs for Adidas, and I got to work. The first one was for when they launched their new like devil skin boots and gloves. So obviously, me being a goalkeeper, I got to spend like 3 days working with Barcelona's. Is it Mark ter Stegen?
No way.
Yeah, so obviously he was like flown over on a private jet and whatnot. But in the audition stage, obviously when I went to audition, I was next to like David De Gea, Paul Pogba, and it was just like, fucking hell, this is mental. But again, like you said, it was like I shouldn't be here. But then it was like, well, actually, I should. Actually, like, there's no. I've put myself here. Like, I've done the work. People found me, but had I not put myself out there, they wouldn't have found me. And yeah, so that was like the first job with Adidas, and it was like, oh, this is cool.
What did you get? Do you mind telling me when I got paid or not?
It was, I think, based on normal extra days were about £100 a day, give or take. It was like maybe 150, and then agency fees and whatnot. You come away with like £100 a day. So it was like, but at the time I was still doing the PT stuff, so it was like perfect for me. But the commercials, you're probably talking £400 or £500 a day. But they weren't even. It was like a couple of hours because you're working obviously with these guys that are being flown in. And so the other job I did with them was they didn't tell me who I was working for, but it was a Premier League footballer, and it was like, ooh, who's that? And I think when Bury went under, Adidas took over Bury's training ground right next to where's Manchester United? Is it Carrington?
Training ground, yeah.
Yeah, so it was right, almost right next to that. So you could see that it's like Fort Knox, Carrington, and obviously a little down the road was Bury's old ground, which is in a like shit compared to it. But Adidas took that over, and obviously that's where I filmed with Mark ter Stegen. It's where I went back to film with this unknown footballer. So like we're sitting in the bus, then we got called to like makeup. The makeup woman was like, "You excited for who you're working with today?" I was like, "We've not been told." She went, "You a football fan?" I was like, yeah, that's why I'm here. Like, who do you support? Like Liverpool. She went, "Oh, you're in luck." I was like, "Who is it?" She went, "It's Mo Salah."
No,
I was like, no fucking way. So literally waiting for him to arrive. And I spent like an hour sitting in the changing room with him. Obviously there was like four of us, including him. And obviously he was just, we were their new range of tracky tops and tracky bottoms. And it was just like, he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah,
like,
you get that feeling when you see him.
Went round everybody, like lighting guy, the runner, went round and thanked them all before. Nice, and it was like, God, talk about, like, you don't meet your heroes. And I bet he's a right stuck-up dick. He's a fucking lovely man.
Yeah.
Lovely man. So, yeah. And obviously being a massive Liverpool fan, I'm
Did you get anything signed, or did you not ask him?
No, you weren't allowed. As soon as you got into...
Yeah, don't ask him for signatures,
as soon as you got into the training ground, and obviously like you had to sign an NDA, and then they put stickers all over your phone. So you can't, like front and back, you can't take pictures of anyone.
Nothing.
So, yeah, but again, it was just like I've got the memory, so I'm all right.
Yeah. Did you get to keep the gear?
No. Even,
in my head, I always thought they'd let them keep them.
They weren't even launched yet, so I think they were kind of like they'd have enough for the day, and obviously they'd want them back. So even the gloves, like the devil skin gloves, they were about £150 a pair, and it was like, oh, good lord, do a pair of them. But yeah, it's just like one of these things like I can't believe I've got here, because it was like 10 years ago.
But like you say, you've earned it.
Yeah,
haven't you?
it was like 10 years ago. I'm sitting, making myself sick like 50 times a day with my head down the toilet, and now I'm sitting on the bus waiting to work with Mo Salah. It's like fucking hell. So there's like cool lessons in it. Just like if you don't give up and you work your ass off, like the universe again, it's
will reward.
Yeah, it's not what you know, it's who you know, isn't it? In terms of if you keep putting yourself out there, something will click eventually.
There's some people like you talked about, if saw your followers who want to be near you all the time. It's full of that. Sort of people.
It is. It's very it's like very clicky and whatnot. And then so I did all that, and then I ended up having like a cancer scare as well. I had a lump. I've got like a scar on my neck where I had a like a cancerous lump that obviously it just was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that got I had to have an operation to remove that, and then
all clear, all okay.
Yeah, all clear. And then within a couple of months of recovering from that, that's when I went through the leg breaks. So this whole time from when I split up with a girl that I obviously when I first moved to Sheffield, split up with her. I dated someone similar. I dated someone soon into my gym journey that never really went anywhere. So I'd been single for about 4 years, and that's when obviously I broke my leg on the 28th of December.
Like a one-on-one.
Yeah. Again, this was the thing. I ended up. The team I used to play for Dromfield, who we were really, really good. Like I started playing for them. We won the league, and then we did the cup, like league and cup double, and then we won the league again. And then we got to I broke my leg in the December, so it's quite early on in the season. And then that in hindsight, it wasn't a bad break. There was a guy, because I'm quite tall and I'm very loud when I play football. People always love to elbows and corners and whatnot. And the guy kept on stamping on my foot. And I've still got the clicky toe I don't know where he broke it or not, but my big toe just clicks every time I move it up and down. So he kept on stamping on my toe. And it was like the first one, you laugh it off. Second one, it's like, that's your last warning. Like, you're not getting away with that again. Yeah. And so he did it again. So like for the fourth corner that came in, this was like early in the first half.
I'm giving it him back here.
I literally, I moved in front of him and I swung my elbow back and I literally like split his nose. Like obviously I broke his nose. And he's like on the floor, like pissing with blood. And I was like, I fucking told you.
Yeah.
Like, you've done it 3 times to me, mate.
Yeah.
And then he went off. And then his teammate got me back good. It was like and
broke your leg?
Yeah, 50-50 tackle. And he like scissored me. So like my foot either side of, my foot in the middle of his. And it was like, like I thought I heard a crack, but I just thought it was like impact. Like
which part? Like
it was just above. It was my left leg, but it was just above my ankle. So like the ball of my ankle, there obviously it ended up breaking a bone, like a chip. And so, but I didn't realise. So I carried on playing. I carried on playing till the end of the first half.
It's giving me jitters.
Oh, yeah, it was like, yeah, but it was like you're stamping it.
Yeah,
like, I've got pins and needles. I had to come back, and then I took a goal kick literally as I kicked it. Ref blew for half time, and my leg like collapsed underneath me, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I stupidly took my boot off. As soon as I took my boot off, it was not going back on.
Yeah, it was.
I remember saying to the manager, like, I'm gonna have to come off, and my mum and dad had come up. My dad was watching, and we were supposed to be going out for dinner that night. Because they lived down south, so they'd come up like post Christmas, and we're going to spend like a few days together in between like now and New Year. And I went out for dinner. I was like, "It's all right, it's all right, it's all right." And they were staying with me. So that morning they were leaving. So it'd been Sunday morning. They were leaving to go back down south, and my foot, it was like I had elephantitis, and it had gone black. So they were like, "Do you want us to drop you off at A&E?" I was like, "I think I'm going to have to get an X-ray." And then, yeah, obviously it turned out that I broke it. So I was in a cast for 6 weeks. And in the same time that I did the whole beggy post of my foot in plaster for New Year saying, I don't know what to do. Any Netflix recommendations? And there was like off the back of that, someone replied, and it was someone that I had reached out to 6 months prior to, slid into their DMs, and she came back with a Netflix documentary or whatever to watch. So I started watching that, and that's how we started talking. And that person turned out to eventually be my ex-wife. Yeah, I don't want to say wife because there's no. And so we started talking when I was obviously recovering from the leg break. My first game back was the semi-final of the cup. It was like biggest game of the season against the team that we constantly vibed with the title for. So it was like, I've got to get back for that. So I did, and I was having an absolute fucking blinder. It was 1-1 at half time, and then right at the start of the second half, it wasn't even a 50-50. Like, ball was on the edge of the area, playing on like a 4G pitch. Their striker's running for it. My left back's running for it. I'm running for it. I've called for it, so I'm taking them all out. And I ended up, obviously, as I've slid and got the ball, and then he's my right knee to knee. But as I'm already diving, my leg's already on a bit of a weird angle, so it's like knee to knee, and my knee kind of goes back. And again, really painful, but adrenaline rushing, semi-final of the cup, walk it off. I didn't realise that I'd actually broke my leg in 2 places. And so I was playing. I played like 40 minutes with a broken leg.
Bloody hell.
With like 5 minutes. They scored, so they were winning 2-1. And then like 5 minutes before the end of the game, they put a cross into the back stick. I plant my right leg, and as I jump up, it snaps underneath me.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like 15.5 stone of like falling underneath your leg, like
on a weak leg.
Fucking pain, mate, was unreal. Like, I went into proper shock because I thought,
oh, you're like, shit.
It was. Oh, I was on the floor, but I heard a gunshot. I heard what I thought was a shotgun.
That loud?
Yeah, and obviously everyone knew what it was.
They all heard it as well.
Yeah, they all heard the snap. The snap was apparently just like, it's like fucked. But I thought.
Oh God, I
thought so. I've gone all goose pimple.
Yeah.
I've got. Yeah, obviously, I thought I'd been shot, and then it was like someone had a lighter behind my knee, inside my knee, like the back of my knee, just lighting the light. It was like the burning sensation was unreal. Obviously, game got stopped and abandoned, but then because it was a Saturday afternoon, football injury, I had to wait like nearly 5 hours for an ambulance. So yeah, they drove my car onto the pitch because it started to get cold, and I'm like propped up against my car, and it's like looking down at my leg, and it looked like an S, like a. I was like, this is absolutely fucked. And then when I got taken to hospital, and then it was broken 4 places. Luckily, after coming back from the first leg break, I used to wear the compression shin pads, so it's like the sleeve, like almost like socks, and another pair of shin pads on the top. And had I not have been wearing them, the bone would have come through the skin. My tib and fib had basically like crossed over.
So it was keeping it in.
It was like my compression shin pads were keeping it in my skin. So the benefit of that was I didn't need surgery. The disadvantage was they had to pull my leg back into place. So that was awful.
I bet my face is doing what everybody else's face is listening to that, like wincing for you.
I'll have to send whether you can put the X-ray up. Yeah, mate, the X-ray is fucking gnarly. Like, just like my tib and fib.
Send it me.
My tib and fib broke, but it's just like your whole shin bone was just it had snapped and then gone up like the break was just horrendous. And that was me. That was me done. I got let out of hospital like a week before we went into lockdown. So my lockdown was me leg up, like cast, like toe to bollocks, couldn't move my leg. But the first lockdown was it was lovely. Everyone got like a free holiday because the weather was brilliant. And luckily for me, the best investment I've ever made. Don't worry about your crypto or your gold or whatnot. I bought a set of adjustable dumbbells and a weight and a bench before we went into lockdown. So I think I got it off of Amazon. It may cost me like 250 quid for the lot. And I think I sold it 3 years later for about 400 quid. It's just like, you've served your time well. So again, in my head, I'm like, got to keep gym, got to keep routine. So I set myself a goal before we even.
Oh, your Instagram's still out at this time, isn't it? Same timeline.
Yeah, but I think I went with I posted about the first leg break, obviously this one, and during lockdown I barely posted anything. I used to post home workouts, but nothing about mental health or how I was doing or whatnot, because I didn't feel. I had clients at the time, but obviously when we went into lockdown, there was nothing. You couldn't really charge them for doing out. But I had my own routine in my head. I was like, I'm going to do 1,000 press ups a day.
Bloody hell.
Like, not obviously like do them in chunks. I'm going to go for a 2-mile walk, hop, and I'm going to hop, and I'm going to do obviously stuff for like my upper body to keep me.
Did you walk with your cushion?
Yeah. I just walk around. I was out for an hour longer than whatever I should have been. I was out for a couple of hours. Respite, got away with it.
Did you have the jab?
I had to. Obviously, being in and out of hospital, and eventually, when the restrictions were lowered, obviously my ex-partner at the time, we booked a holiday. So the day after they stopped the flying restrictions, we flew. But obviously, you had to have your jab to
fly.
Yeah, which is like none of us wanted it, but it was like, well, I paid for this holiday. We waited fucking 18 months to go on it, so we're going to go on it. Like, okay. But I started to use peptides. So I used TB500.
What's a peptide for people that don't know?
It's like, if anyone knows what like growth hormone is, obviously it's something you inject in yourself, which is the easiest way to put it, can enhance a lot of things. It's not a steroid, but obviously it can cause muscle growth. It can increase your metabolism. It's kind of like this sort of wonder drug that's obviously big in the bodybuilder world, but the growth hormone is like, there's so many strands of, like, you class it as like DNA, and peptides are like one strand of growth hormone. And obviously I'm quite into my supplements and whatnot, and I know that this was like apparently like a miracle drug for repairing. So you use BPC 157 and TB 500 in a little liquid that you reconstitute, and it's like a insulin pen that you have to inject near to the site as possible. So it's like, I'm trying to do this with my cast, like pull my cast and do it into my leg. And I got told that I was going to be in a cast for 18 months. So February, I'm thinking, fuck, like summer next year. By September, I was out the cast. And
as quick as that?
Yeah.
Because of the peptides?
Well, apparently so. And so I got back in the gym. And when I say that, I mean, I was walking on the treadmill on an incline to put like stress through it. And I had this weird lump I've still got it now, on my shin, obviously, but they classed it as like scar tissue. Went to my physio, who I used to see for my back, and obviously did the whole like scraper. You see it when they scrape your shoulders, and he was doing that on the scar tissue to get rid of it, and fucking crying my eyes out.
Because of the pain?
Because of the pain. And I was like, speaking to the doctors, like, you're clinically healed, so you're fit.
X-ray wise, you're
all
right,
good.
yeah.
I got all signed off. So I was like, so that means I can go back to football at the start of the football season. I'm thinking like second week in September. I was like, I can get back for the first game of the season. And so it was pretty much the first and only.
You didn't break your leg straight away again. That's not where this story's going?
Yeah.
You are joking.
First game back, and obviously by that point I'd been seeing this.
First game back?
First game back of the season, yeah.
Is that where this story's going?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so I managed to get through the first half.
What is the chances of this?
Yeah, managed to get through the first half. All good. Like, again, I constantly had this like pain of like, it was so tight around my right shin. But I got told it was fine. I'm healed. My physio is saying it's all good. It's just scar tissue. And then, second half, I went to claim a cross, and I basically got my feet caught in mud. So as I've got my right leg caught and I've jumped up, it's literally, I've just separated my leg again. And that's when, obviously, the third leg break was when I was a Debbie Downer. Obviously, by that point, we're like September, getting close to Christmas, or like it's getting dark soon. You can't go out as long as before. Weather was crap, and it was just like, why me? Like I had like a really shit mindset. My mental health went a little bit poo. No, not like depressed, but just like, not that I want to put this on anyone else, but can you give me a break? And then so I didn't. I think I came out the cast in the April, and I did nothing until July. I was like, I'm not doing anything, and
anything like press ups or anything.
Nothing. I did nothing. Like barely walked on it, and obviously that's where.
I mean, even press ups. I mean,
nothing. I was just convinced.
How did your body shape change from that to that?
I felt like I had like a dad bod in my head. In my head, it was like the worst I'd ever been. However,
you still post on Instagram as well or not?
No. Oh no. And by that point as well, I was leaving Sheffield and moving to. I was getting a place with my ex-wife. You know where this story is going. And yeah, so I ended up moving to Huddersfield, and in that point, I'd made the transition from being obviously the acting stuff had buggered off by then. The PT stuff, I was looking at doing that in Huddersfield, and I actually started to work in the gym group. I worked as a PT in there, but I wanted to make that transition into online coaching, and it was like seemingly everyone was qualified after lockdown. Everyone became a coach. Like, how the fuck have you done this when you're not allowed to go anywhere? So I kind of like thinking about who I can be and what's my niche. Like the niche is my fucking story. So I became like James, the mental health PT. That was my business when I moved to Huddersfield, and obviously I was trying to grow that while obviously developing my relationship with her, and trying to. Yeah, new start, new business, new everything. It was like another like reinvention, brand new chapter, and it was going all right. It was going all right. Like I managed to do some work with like the NHS, and I got into like Huddersfield, their rugby team, Huddersfield Giants, and yeah, doing a lot of networking. Started to do podcasts, and that's when I started to talk about obviously the eating disorder and the backstory. Again, while trying to grow my relationship, and we moved in together, and then I proposed to her. We got married June 23. So like kind of fast forwarding like a year or so, but it was just a year of trying to grow the business. You know, it was like networking events, trying to get myself out there and getting clients.
Was you earning from it?
Yeah. Not obviously not a lot, but obviously it was getting month on month. It was getting better. And it's like it's new, so it's understandable. And got married, and that was a big thing for me. Not so much because of it being her. It was from my dad, my mum and dad. Sorry,
from where they've seen you.
Yeah, and obviously like my relationship with my mum and dad. I whether you want to call me like a mummy's boy or whatever, fine. I'll wear that t-shirt. I'm proud of the relationship I've got with mum and dad, because they could have fucked me off with the stuff I've done to them. They could have just washed their hands with me. I know they never would. But like my relationship with my dad I'm very close to my dad, and he was my best man.
Oh,
I asked him to be my best man, and so so that day it was just like they probably would have thought in their head of they'd never see this day, or they're like, for how long it's taken James to get ready, like to get his head sorted and whatnot. They may not have been here to see it, so it was like a very special day to share it with them. And for me, it's the only time in my life I felt like I was like, in one area of my life the same as my dad. Like my old man was like, he's incredibly successful from like a business point of view. Like I'm nowhere near that yet. The relationship he's got with my mum, nowhere near that yet. However, I was married. He was married. Like I'm at that level now, and I'm at the level with my brother as well. So it's like I always see myself as like black sheep. They're very much ambitious go-getters. They haven't had to deal. They've had shit to deal with, but not as bad as me. And so I've always felt like I'm a little bit behind them, academically, financially. But on that level, I was there, and I was again proud of myself. I was very emotional.
Isn't it a shame that as a human trait, that comparison? Isn't it?
I think it's one of how you see it. Like I see it as this like fire in my belly, the drive to like it's like it's not that I want to.
You see it as a positive.
Yeah. It's not
positive comparison.
Yeah, it's one of the things that it's like I don't want to imitate.
What I mean is, were you doing it for you or for them? I suppose is what I'm saying.
It's both. Yeah. It was both. It's definitely both. Like I don't want to imitate my dad. I want to almost emulate in my own world, in my own profession. Like I don't want to run an alarm CCTV company just like my dad. And it's not about that. It's just it's having his traits and what he's instilled in me to kind of be like that, successful, fully self-sufficient and whatnot in the thing that I'm doing.
Are you there now?
No. I'm still on that journey. Obviously the business and whatnot is going all right, but it's not. It needs to. I want to be able to help more people, and more people I help, the more money I get. So, that's the metric, isn't it? The more, it's not about the money. The money comes with the people that you serve. But so that was that's why I was incredibly proud of being on that day. And then obviously we went off on a honeymoon. We spoke about having kids. She'd already had a daughter, so I gained a stepdaughter for a brief period of time. And it was July time is when we went to the doctors just to get tested to make sure everything was good. She got results back straight away, and then I got a text message and a phone call that I need to come in. Yeah. And so it was well, they found something. It was have they? That's why they're asking you to come in. It's and for so long, not to be, it's not that I avoided the doctors. I just never went. I was never ill. So it was I kind of lost that, oh shit. So yeah, she discussed with me, what have you thought about being worst case scenario? I was like, no, what, worry about it twice. If I do that, my brother's got a son. Obviously they had trouble conceiving. So I'm there's always options. IVF, worst case scenario, IVF. The worst case in my head wasn't that I couldn't have kids. And she posed that question to me. It had Monday morning was the appointment. We went out for dinner on a Saturday, and that's when she posed the question to me. Have you thought about it if you can't have him? I was like, no. She was like, what will you do if it is? We just won't have kids. She went, we will. I was like, we won't. She said, well, I was like, what are we going to adopt? She went, no, I'm not adopting. She said, we'd have to do sperm donor. And obviously the ego in you, I was like, I'm not letting someone fuck my wife. And that, she was like, well, no, that's the only option, or we separate. And it was
how long have you been married now at this point?
This would have been end of October, and we got married in June.
Shit.
Yeah. So it's surely you don't fucking mean that. And so then that's when the cogs started to turn, and Saturday night didn't sleep, Sunday night didn't sleep. Obviously Monday went to the doctors. She wanted to come with me, and I was like, no. I'm doing this on my own back. If it's worst case scenario, I feel like I'd have to be supporting you before I support myself. And so I went, and obviously that's when they were there was no sperm in the sample. It's either two things. It's either the fact that obviously we have to retest to make sure, but it's either you are potentially infertile, or it was a contaminated sample. I'm still hoping it's a contaminated sample, but I think after doing about 10 tests and they all coming back the same, that I've got no sperm, it's pretty obvious what it is. So I came back after those results prior to obviously having to be booked in to do another sample. And the results, obviously I told her, and her first two questions were, how the fuck could you do this to me? And have you always known? And it was just looking back now, that was the day that my marriage ended. Unbeknownst to me, within a week, she started having an affair.
Fucking hell. She does not mess about, does she?
No. And then she manipulated the situation over the November, December time that I was depressed and that I needed to go and have therapy down at my parents', 300 miles away. So I was I don't need to go down there to have therapy. If I'm going to do this, I really want you present and with it, so I can talk about, either you come with me or I'll talk about it with you afterwards. She's like, no, you need to do this and go down and unpack all the shit in your head and be a better man and be a better husband. And I'm not leaving you, I'm not going anywhere. And it was but if you're not leaving me, you're not going anywhere, why can't I just have it up here?
Yeah.
Bit of
and
space.
Just saying them words.
Yeah. Bit of space and whatnot. So first of January, I went down to my parents, and I didn't really go back. I was only supposed to be down there for a month, and obviously that turned into 2, into 3, and then in March, I found out that she was having the affair.
How?
Instagram story.
Hers?
Yeah, she accidentally reshared his, And obviously, because we were married, I had notifications up. So it said that she'd obviously shared a story and it was her on a date with another man.
That's cold.
Yeah.
That is so cold.
There's always that thing about, was that her way? Was that like, I don't want him anymore. I don't really want to tell him, so I'm just going to show him. Like, she deleted it not long after. And then,
either way, that's cold.
Yeah. And then I went up the following weekend I played dumb. I didn't see out. I realised by that there were a lot of changes in her actions in the time that I was away. How can we put attention seeking?
Online.
Yeah, you make your own mind up about what that was about. But yeah, so just like living the life of a single person when you're supposed to be married to me, like level of disrespect was like on another level, and it's like I can't. This isn't.
No.
This is not how it should be. No. This is not how I should feel either. Obviously, I went up to confront her, and then didn't really expect the confrontation of how it went in regards to, like, we're talking complete character assassination
of you,
of me. Yeah, like, don't ever call yourself a man.
You're joking.
Yeah, you have one job. You have one job, to have a kid, and you can't even fucking do that. Like, what you do for work is a joke. My friends and I take the piss. Like, men's mental health. Like,
oh, you're joking.
Yeah. I found myself a real man that, like, fucks me better than you ever could. And
oh, you are joking.
No. And obviously, honestly,
that's cold.
Like, but I was proper. To be fair, to be fair, she never deviated. Like, it's a really fucked up way to give her some level of, like, fair play. Like, right. your level of, she had this plan and she executed it to perfection. Like, to manipulate me, to get me out the way, to do what she wanted to do, to then me find out and her just go, and what? Like, it's just like.
Did you have any of them personality traits in it before when you?
Oh, I missed a whole load of red flags.
Because of your naivety, because of that 10 years you lost, and it's all linked, isn't it, to that 10 years?
And this is the thing now. Like, I don't. It was awful what she did. It really was, and it's just like.
You're laughing because you can't believe she even did it, are you? Like,
the weird thing is, like, I don't hate her.
What was your response when she was?
Oh, stoic as hell. Like, I was just like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I know what you're doing.
I'm not biting.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. I said, the silly thing is, I don't think you realise who I am. Like, and this is like the thing with me, like you said about, if you've already been through that, this ain't as bad. Like, when you lose control of your own head, and you lose control of your mental health to the point where you are literally staring death in the face, and that isn't even like a, you know what, James, wake the fuck up. Like, if that wasn't the catalyst for me to recover, someone doing this to me,
a few words,
yeah, it doesn't really pale into comparison to when you gain back control of your own head. Like, that's someone external. Like, I've already battled the shit in my own head, so you doing that, yeah, it's disgusting and it's massively disrespectful. This isn't going to affect that because this is fucking bulletproof now.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of approach that is just like, well, I'm glad it was 5 months into marriage rather than 5 years when we had everything together and whatnot. I said, because it would have been, well,
if but because their personality would still been the same.
Yeah, but then even with that, it could have been that she could have found out, we'd have had the news, and then miraculously she fell pregnant. Miracle baby, wouldn't have been mine.
Oh no!
Like, you know, it's like all these things that you kind of go, she could have done that. She could have done that. She could have done that. So. And then
you've had a good swerve there in the end.
100%, yeah, 100%. But then the best thing was, and obviously a lot of people have said that it was too soon. Within a month of me finding out that, I met someone else.
Did you?
And like for the fact, and it's
is that who you with now?
Yeah.
No way. What year? So you met her?
I met her. I was in Edinburgh. I was trying to do some work with Juventus Football Club for their youth academy. Weirdly based in Edinburgh.
I know. I was thinking that.
Like, you've got to be in London or Manchester, surely.
Yeah.
No offense to Scottish football.
Just cold up there.
Yeah. And so, but obviously, I was there. I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was just scrolling through Facebook, and completely superficial like this. We had one mutual friend, was a friend from football, and I just, fucking hell, she's gorgeous. And it was like for 6 months. Again, kind of going back to like the eating disorder with like nothing going on. Didn't really. I felt rejected, and there was no sexual emotions going on with me, and it was like just seeing the picture of this girl was just like, fuck, hello. So completely superficial, add as a friend, and like accepted 5 minutes later, and then she started following me on Instagram, and then she liked a couple of my pictures, so I liked a couple of hers back, and then I sent her the voice note, and it's like about a year or so ago, I was like, what was that message I sent you? Because everyone asked me, how the fuck did you pull her? And it was like, I remember sending her a message. I can't remember exactly what it was. So we went back, scrolled all the way back through, and like the opening message was like, "Hey, really appreciate you like accepting the friend request. Don't really know why I've done that. Just to let you know my story." Because I thought, obviously, on my socials, it still said that I was married. And I'm sure if she went down and snooped, there'd been wedding pictures.
It looks
and all,
like you, yeah.
And it was like, technically, I'm still married, but I'm single. I'm currently, 36, 35, living in my parents' spare room, haven't got a job, haven't got a house, used to live in Sheffield, looking at moving back. If I do, is there any way I could take you out for a coffee?
Fair play.
That was it.
Fair play.
Oh, by the way, I can't have kids.
Did you drop that in as well?
But that was all in. It was all bundled in. Like I'm married, can't have kids, haven't got a job, haven't got a house.
Yeah.
But I want to take you for a coffee. If I can afford it, I'll take you for a coffee. And yeah, I think her reply was like, "That's the most honest, fucking weirdest voice note ever." And we've never stopped talking since.
Oh, that's brilliant. I'm glad that's happened.
Yeah. So and obviously
that's again going back to facing death in the face. You've gone, can't bother, I'll have that. What do you think? And
Yeah.
You've got to have all that. What do you think, love?
But I think that's what it is. Like you've got. I can't rewrite my past. I've got to own it. And it's weirdly enough, every bit of shit that I've gone through, something good has always come out of it the other side. And it may not be straight away,
or or you can't see the good coming, or
And obviously, but you have to just keep on that journey. And obviously, that's where, again, at the same time of all this stuff happening with the ex-wife, like the business shut down. So it was like, I'm now, like I said, 35, not really sure what to do. So I did what I did when I got made redundant from my other job. I said to Kay, I was like, I want to go Dubai. I've been before and fell in love with it. She was like, oh, I'd love to go to Dubai. I've never been. Like, do you want to go? She's like, I can't really afford it. So I've got my son and stuff as well. I was like, if you could get cover for your son for a week, would you come with me? She was like, yeah. So beginning of May. So yeah, we started talking beginning of April, beginning of May. So in a month of knowing her, we'd booked and gone to Dubai. Obviously, I should say this on a podcast, but obviously knowing full well what was happening with the marriage going to shit, money was siphoned off, and deposit money was then taken, and I used some of that money to go on holiday. And yeah, that's where like Kay and I kind of just built this bond. And it's not really stopped since. Obviously, I was kind of umming and ahhing about what do I do in terms of work. Like, where do I knew I was going to work for myself, but I didn't really know what to do. I realised that the type of people that I wanted to work with weren't going to be interested in the mental health PT. James, the mental health PT. It's not exactly like a sexy fucking name. And with the stigma attached to it, it was like, I'm more than a PT, and I'm more than a mental health coach. So I literally sat in the new apartment and just locked myself away, thinking like, who do I want to help?
How? Rebranded yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Obviously, August 24 was when the new business launched, and Ultimate Body and Mind.
And you can see it going.
Yeah,
all that slides perfectly onto the manosphere.
Yes.
I've seen a couple of posts you've done about the manosphere. Yeah. I did a random post about the manosphere actually as well at the time.
I very rarely comment on things that are like topical. I just again.
I don't.
No,
I don't.
No, I was.
But that I did. I did do a little video on it, and I saw you did one.
Yeah.
And I completely agreed with everything you said.
Yeah.
And now I know a bit more about your background and stuff, especially because the manosphere. It's a tough one, manosphere, right? I believe, like. The main guy that seems to have all the attention about it was HS
Tiki Talk.
Yeah, he seems to have the main.
Yeah.
And looking at him as a young lad, he's just on an earner, really. I don't know if he believes all the things he's saying, but he's just on an earner. So that's where you're earning. But what you've been through with the woman who's done that to you would drive a lot of men that way, wouldn't it? And you're not agreeing with that whole manosphere general subject, are you?
No.
Give us your take and the opinion on the manosphere. I
just think in terms of like the sad reality is it's the generation that we live in that whoever shouts loudest gets heard. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it and how loud and almost like divisive you are. So
sorry to interrupt you quickly. I'm really sorry. I've done well not to interrupt you, but it's probably the best I've ever done. Right? I'm usually interrupting non-stop. I did a post the other day. I think because you're a content creator, if you like. Do you ever get them posts come up where they go, this is a hook, this is a hook, this is a hook, and trying to keep people engaged?
Yeah.
And I did one. I went, this is a hook, and I jumped with this is a hook. And I said, I'm not even actually saying anything that's worth any value to your life at all.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping you on my page.
I bet it went
No, it didn't go.
Right.
It didn't. I was going to test it at the end because I don't think I did it to the right. It still did all right numbers, but what I'm saying is, you're right. It's just about attention and keeping their attention, and not actually thinking what their value in any sort of message is.
Yeah,
and that's just current human. We're up to the evolution of humans, isn't it?
It is. And so, like, you look at. I'm sure there are some things that is Harrison, isn't it? His name.
Yeah, Harrison.
I'm sure a lot. There's probably a lot of what he says actually makes sense and is actually valuable information, but how it's completely all dressed up and how it's delivered makes him look like a tit. And I think that's where the sad reality is that there are so many young, well, they are young men, even if they're teenagers, they're still young men that are very much, they haven't been brought up in the generations that you have and I have, that where there are actually morals, there is respect, and there is levels of accountability where men and women, they are equal, but we have strengths in different areas that they have different strengths in areas. Like, you look at it from a profession point of view, women are more caring, hence why there are more nurses are predominantly female. And also you look at more labour-intensive jobs, construction workers, builders are more men.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and that's not me being sexist, that's me stating facts. But it's like, it seems like there's this weird area now where men, these type of people, have become that divisive that they've kind of concocted this narrative that men are better, and it's just like, well, we're not. Like, we're not. And if you say that you're not, it's because that you are like feminine and you're not a man. And it's just like the idea of what modern masculinity is. It's to be a fucking misogynistic dickhead, and it's just like, where have we lost that? To me, chivalry. Like, I model a lot of my attributes today on my dad. I grew up with my dad working his bollocks off, that he was basically a weekend dad for most of my upbringing. But when he was home, he was all about me and my brother. He'd take me to football, never missed a football match on a weekend. So, like, I knew that my dad was never around, so I was more attached to my mum because she was around more. I respected my mum for everything she did. She didn't have to work because my dad earned enough to keep her at home. So she was a housewife, and that's what she did until she had to go back to work. So it's like, I kind of grew up in that environment where my dad was the worker.
Traditional.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly that. And it's like, but then also I knew that when my dad had been away for like days on end, if he was staying in a hotel, he'd always come back and he'd take my mum out for food, or he'd come back with flowers or earrings. And it's like, I know that's not inherently what you do because you're kind of almost buying things to a point, but it's like, I've been away and now I'm stepping up. And don't you worry, I'll look after the kids this weekend.
It's the thought behind it. It's not how expensive the earrings were, it's the thought behind
exactly.
it.
And it was always, I was like, yeah, we'd take my mum out, would take us on holidays. Like, my mum and dad always got a new car. But then it was like the smaller things of, like the flowers. And when he was at home, it was like pulling a chair out, putting a chair in, holding the door for her. And that's stayed with me to this day. And it's like, I think the reason why we're in this situation at the minute is that there's seemingly like we've lost that from either from my or the generation after me. So guys haven't grown up seeing their families in a traditional family environment. It's predominantly maybe that they're single households where the men hasn't been around, and the reason why,
or they're both working.
Or either they seem like they've lost that male role model, and now they're going to TikTok and they're going to social media to reach out for that role model. And it's, again, because it's whoever shouts loudest gets heard, they're then going, okay, that's the guy for me. And it's like, but there's so many other people you can, if you're going to attach yourself to someone, attach yourself to someone that's actually got some fundamental value.
Yeah, I was saying on the post that I did, was as a general quick gist, was, why does it have to be all the way over here or all the way over there? Why can't there be?
Yep. Happy middle.
Yeah, happy middle. To be a man, I think it's right that men have a level of physicality, that they've got a certain level that they can fight and defend themselves. Yep. Even if, I know Luke Dyson was in here the other day.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he beat me in a fight, right?
Yep.
But I can
fight.
You
beat both of us in a fight.
Yeah, but at the same time. But I can fight, and I've got that level about me. Whether I can beat everybody or not is irrelevant. I've got something.
Need to show up and protect.
I can do it. I can be there. And have that protection. Be protective. But also, like I said on my post, which might have been controversial. It was right at the end, so probably not. People got to the end of the post, but it was. I don't get mentioned, ask permission from their wives either. There should be a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Have we got anything on Friday? No, okay, I'm going out.
Yeah.
As long as you're not taking the piss and you're out every night.
Yeah.
I think because them roles get mixed as well, where men start to ask permission from the woman. It's like, it's not your mother.
Yeah.
It's your girlfriend or your wife.
Yeah.
They should be equal.
Yeah.
But if I see her equal, then that's got to work both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't nag me either. And it's just, that is playing to your strengths. And some women like your mother and my wife, who have been at home, been fortunate enough to be at home.
Yeah.
I say fortunate enough for the kids. Fortunate enough for the kids to have their mother around.
Yeah.
But really, it's a sacrifice because they've got no idea. They don't know who they are themselves because they're just mums. Because I think it was like when you were growing up, but my wife, it's mum. She's running around after everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
So like, where's her time as well?
Yeah.
But that's her version of sacrifice, where I've been similar to your dad, where I'm always working and never at home.
That was your sacrifice.
That was my sacrifice, and her sacrifice is that. But what I've never ever done is seen her as below me.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And that's an important message, isn't it? It's not, no one's beneath you. Nobody.
No.
Man or woman.
Yeah, and I think again that's the important thing that I've had from my parents. It's just that they're both equal. They just have different strengths in different areas, and that's okay, and that's it. So that's where I think this whole thing is just, it's just odd. I just don't understand it.
I don't. And why do you think it is then? Is it a lost generation? Like you said, no purpose.
Exactly,
there's no purpose.
It's no purpose, and I think it's just the fact that, like, you look at the levels of like the family unit, it's become broken. Like a lot of families now,
they can't afford to not have. Most people can't afford the wife not to be working or going out to work.
I think it could be that. It could also be that we are now in a social media generation, and I know that firsthand, that if you kind of lose that, if you go through trauma, it's very easy to quickly jump on your Instagram, flash a bit of tit, get a whole load of attention, and then go, grass is greener. So that's another reason. Obviously,
that's a short dopamine hit. Isn't it?
And obviously, that's obviously like my mum and dad's generation. Like, we're talking like 50 odd years ago. Like, you didn't have you had no distractions. If you had issues, you talked about it, or you fucked off. Like, you didn't just ghost someone, or you didn't.
We buried it in drink or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So because we didn't have this attention seeking of like, well, if you don't want me, I've got 10,000 followers that someone's going to want me. We don't have that anymore. So I think that's whereby relationships now are a lot more fragile. So I think because of that, again, kids are being brought up in single households, which again, it's like you work with what you got, but the consequence of that is like if there isn't the father, they're gonna lack that male role model, and same if it's the dad bringing them up, they lack that female role model. So, and they're gonna find that from somewhere else. So, and where they're gonna find it, social media, which is the root cause of a whole load of shit. Like, it serves its purpose, but a lot of it is divisive, miscommunication, wrong information, and just a whole load of misleading like connotations of what it's like to be a man. I think that's where, like, to me, it's just like, you have to have the physical element, which obviously what I say within the gym, you've got to have the right mindset. And the one thing that I would back Andrew Tate with is about his speak about, you need to go through shit. You need to know,
build that resolve inside you.
Adversity, resilience, and tenacity. Without that, again, the first thing you ever come across, it's better to come across things early, deal with it, learn from it, build yourself back up, armor yourself up. Because the later on you get, it's going to hit you like a fucking ton of bricks. And I think we're just seeming like a generation of almost like wet wipes with no stickability. So when things get hard, people bounce, relationships break down, there's kids involved. The kids then don't really have a role model to look up to, so they seek it elsewhere. And the people that they're seeking out at the minute aren't the type of people you'd want as a role model. No. And that's obviously where you've now got this society of...
But if they were hitting the basic message of get fit, get strong... why bring the women into it? There's no need to bring the women into it, is there? Just get fit, get strong, and it's not like then learn something.
Yeah, and it's not like you can say like women are irrelevant because you then be labelled misogynistic. But like you said, own yourself, be confident in your ability, be able to protect yourself, and
learn. I say self-awareness is important. I mean, like you're on about the dads, and because even parents could stay together, but the dad, if he's not done work on himself, he could be passing down his traumas, his past, onto the children as well. So it's important for dads and men to go have that self-awareness and think, why am I like that? Why do I do that?
To be the example.
To be the example and change. I've got a very good friend, Mike, who's done amazing the way he's changed the way he is. And he's like, it's so difficult today to look at yourself and go, that's not right. It's not a good trait. Where did it come from? I'm going to change it. I'm going to do better. it's the hardest thing to do.
It is.
Especially when it's stuck in and you're like late 30s or whatever, and you're trying to change it late 30s in your head.
And obviously that's my audience now are predominantly men, like 35 to 55, that are kind of, again, there's multiple stages of where they're at. They're either like, there's kind of two like ideal clients for me. There's the guy he's an entrepreneur, runs their own business. They either have the family, and because of that, they're doing all these things, spreading themselves too thin, that they've kind of lost their own identity. They're not happy with how they are, yet they don't give themselves any time because they have to have it for work. They've got to have money to support their families. And it's like, you optimize their life to be able to give them time back, which you can do by having the right structure. Or there's the guy that doesn't have the family, that's got the lifestyle, has everything that you would kind of want on paper, but has no one to share it with. And it's like, again, it's kind of that. So that kind of age group, like 30, 40-year-olds, as you can teach them, then again, it's like paying it forward, passing it on to their social circle, and obviously eventually their own kids. It's like, and if you can teach them the habits and instill in them, obviously, like the self-awareness and the mindset journey that they're going on, they're inevitably going to pass it on to their kids, and their kids are going to follow that. And it's like people say, like, how do you change what's going on with society? It's only going to come through education, and then like replicating that model to your kids and their kids and their kids.
And through you're doing positive with social media as well, isn't it? And spreading a positive message. Yeah. There was two things I wanted to touch on as you were talking. One was, because I don't want to dismiss, I'm not going PC or woke, but some men haven't got that. You know, so everyone's different, basically, is what I was trying to say. And some men are effeminate, is the right word. I still believe that's irrelevant. Okay, you're effeminate. Doesn't mean you can't be strong, and you can't just be strong, and if that's what you want to be. Yeah. If you don't want to be, fine. But I suppose it was just touching on that side of it. Do you know what I mean?
Like I said, I think I wouldn't class myself as a man's man. I don't go out. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. I'm not saying that's what men's men do. But like people's ideas of me is just like, I'm this like alpha kind of man because of how I look. And it's like, well, no, I'll have a cry. I'll talk to my missus about stuff, and if things get on top of me, I'll cry. I'll cry watching a movie or something on Instagram, like some reels about dogs and whatnot. And it's just like, so I'm in touch with my feminine side, of whether you want to call it,
feelings.
Or just so however you want to say it. But it's like, to me, to me that I see that as strength. I see that as strength of being able to cry and owning it, and not like doing it behind closed doors, and like, again, taking charge of my what's deemed as like a taboo, like in terms of the eating disorder. Not many men go through that, or it's made me who I am today, so I have to own it, because I wouldn't be on this journey had it not been for that. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be with Kay had I not found out the news about my fertility stuff and ex-wife doing what she did.
When you look back on your own personal, everyone who's been through stuff can look back at these pinnacle moments and think, God, that was hard, but meant to be. That was hard, meant to be. God's plan, or whatever you want to. Are you religious?
No, I'd say I'm more.
What's your view on that?
It's something that's never been like.
Are you spiritual, or
I'm spiritual. I think
you believe in like a higher force.
Yeah, I think there are too many things that have happened in my life where I've seemingly been put in the right place at the right time.
You can't ignore these things. Yeah.
No, and again, I put it down to.
You're not saying it couldn't. You're not saying it's not God, but you're saying you're not sure.
Yeah, I think because again, I was christened as a child, so I'm obviously on my birth certificate, or whatever. I'm a Christian. Like my mum's side of the family are religious, but we never went to church growing up, so it wasn't something that was instilled in me. So it's just, but yeah, since I've turned the corner at 27, I feel that there are like certain moments you go, I can't really understand that. I don't know why that's happened.
Have you meditated or anything like that?
I've never done that.
Have you not?
No, like I write. I don't class it as meditation. I don't class it as journaling, but I do write stuff down in terms of if I'm feeling like crap or I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll write stuff down to kind of get it out of my head. Because I've always said that you can't.
Journaling.
Oh yeah. It's like you can't tackle the problem and think about it all at the same time. But if it's in front of you, you're kind of unloading it in front of you, and you're seeing it with your eyes, so your brain's free to kind of prioritize stuff. So I've done that. And kind of like when I feel like things aren't going to plan, like you write a list of like what's going well, what isn't going well, to kind of reaffirm, actually, it's not that bad.
Yeah, because I mean, you're still going right back to when you were that younger age in football. Even to this day, there's something in your DNA, who you are, whatever it is, that's got that logical, analytical side to you. Which, and I suppose maybe you might or you may not, is then delve into that spiritual side, because it's amazing if you get into it with meditation, with Reiki, or whatever that looks like to you personally. Because then I haven't. I've done massive self-development, massive loads, everything, but what I haven't touched on yet, which my next step probably is like ayahuasca or DMT, them sort of things.
I've seen so many people. I've watched so many podcasts about it. It's like with me, and unless
what's my next one? The one that is, I've got Monte Casso's out right now. The next one, James.
Yeah.
Watch his.
Okay.
He went from like it's like you. Going from like no, I'm not meditating, nothing like that. But I'm gonna go straight to ayahuasca now. That's more or less what he did. It's mad.
Okay.
The watch his next is unreal.
Yeah. I think it's one of the things that
What breath work? Sorry to interrupt you. No. That's a good form of it as well.
No. Again, the only time I have breath work is in the gym. Or when I'm playing football. So it's more of a.
Do you think you have a look at that side of life? Or was that losing control? Because I know you still like to be in control, don't you?
Yes,
It's an inherent part of your personality is to be some sort of control.
I think it's been. I say it was drummed into me from 7, and I think it's never really left me. It's just been like
habits and control.
And the structure and routine. I think obviously that's. I think to me, my whole life it just goes back to my mindset. I've always been structured in routines. It's just where my mindset's been as to how I've used that as a blessing or a curse. But. There are so many things I think I haven't tried. I just haven't tried it. I've spoke about it. I've spoken to people that do it, and like they rave about it. It's like with me, I think with how I'm wired, I'm kind of like I'm all in or I'm all out. Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go like balls deep into it. But it's like if I'm kind of like I don't really understand it, I won't do it. I won't do it. So I'd have to. But the ayahuasca stuff, it's interesting as hell. Like just to be able to it's like taking yourself out of your head and looking back in from a different perspective and getting unlocking answers that it's just like that would be cool.
It would be, but that's why I would say like not how James did it maybe, but is to you start with meditation
dip your toe in and then build yourself
just
up.
Pull the plaster off. Or that might suit your personality. To be honest,
jump straight in.
Yeah, it might suit your personality. But, I've run over as usual. I usually as well part of like as a little like game with myself because I'm really into. I love astrology and numerology. Have you ever looked at anything like that?
Okay, no. Okay, I'm aware of it, but it's not something. Yeah, not something I've delved.
You should have a look at it, even if you look on just briefly on ChatGPT about numerology. It's unreal, like about your life path number, what it means. But I was going to guess your star sign. Okay. I like just have a guess if I get it right or not. But you kind of told me your birthday was in a week, so I can't deny that. So that means but I wouldn't have put you that. I wouldn't have guessed that anyway. So is that an Aries then?
Taurus.
Yeah. So of course it is. Sorry, right. So I wouldn't have guessed that anyway. But so if you look at do me a favour and come back to me.
Yeah.
Do you know your mum or dad will know your time of birth?
Right.
So you can comment on this when it's out. You can comment on this bit on YouTube and see if I was right or not.
Okay.
I've got you as a Scorpio, right?
Right.
So you're not because you're Taurus, but everyone's 2 star signs, you see.
Okay.
And it'll be your rising sign, which is what's outwardly shown to the world. So I'm going to guess a Scorpio, okay?
Right, okay.
So you can let me know if I'm right or wrong later on when it comes out, okay? Don't forget.
All right, no, I won't.
And then, so numerology.
Yeah.
I was going to try, I'm not as up on numerology as I am astrology, but I was going to guess, a life path 9, okay?
Right.
So that's just a dead easy one to do on Google. You could find that out like straight after this. Okay. It's dead easy, I'll show you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess life path 9, okay?
Okay.
Leave that there.
Right.
Okay. And there's a question I asked towards the end, which I just started introducing as well. So the one at the start is who are you?
Yep.
Which is one to look into.
Yep.
Because, that was a personality trait and that's a purpose.
Yeah.
But it's not who you are.
Yeah.
Your soul, who you are.
Yeah.
Which can be a very, nothing's tough. It's just how you decide if it's tough or not. But it's a journey you may or may not go on.
Yeah.
But the other question is, which equally can be hard, is what do you want?
Ooh. Again, this is probably not going to be the right one, but to me, it's
personal to you.
Yeah, it's to leave some kind of positive impact on this place, and to me, that's on my mission now to help guys deal with their own crap, help them become like the best or the ultimate versions of themselves, and basically, just to leave a legacy of the guy that helped other people become better. because because it's like I want to be known for being like ambitious but selfless, kind of all at the same time.
If you're never if, always when you're a multi-millionaire transformation coach, how would you give back? So you don't need the money anymore, because you're doing it money. You want money for freedom. I take it,
100%.
and to do good with it, not to drive a Lambo.
No.
Yeah? If you want to drive a Lambo, it's up to you. What I'm saying, Rich, he really wants to drive a Lambo. But
his mate's got a lovely one.
Yeah. So let's pretend
I've already got this in. I've already got this answer in my head. Obviously, my thing is to give back to, especially like football academies. I'd love to be able to go in and share my story and my teachings to kids that, obviously, you look at the stats that 0.001% make it to professional. So you've got this whole majority that are dealing with rejection, but it's not actually rejection, because had I have taken a different approach, obviously my life would have been infinitely different. But it's like there's always the positive to take out of that negative. Yes, you may not be playing that level of football at that club, but there are pathways to other things. But you also need to see it as in the habits and the structure and the routine that you've been instilled in this little eco bubble. You are like 1,000,000% ahead of other people your age. Like you've got lasting like habits, good structure and advice there that can see you through like really shitty times. So it's to be able to give back to people that they are inevitably going to go through. They're going to face the same rejection that I faced, and it's like what I'm trying to do now is especially for younger kids, and it's like talking in schools and whatnot. It's just to not do what I did. I'm an example of how shit your life can be for a certain period of time, like a decade. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
It is a long time.
Well, it wasn't a decade. I don't think it is a decade. I think it's longer than that.
Well, but it's the after.
You know, like when you met that girl and that girl.
Yeah.
Because you didn't gain the experience of women to identify things.
Yeah.
But then obviously it's all meant to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all meant to happen. But
I think in terms of like, because when I was at my worst and I was like kind of in denial and whatnot, obviously the other stuff that have happened in the last 11 years, I've been on this. Am I my ultimate self? You probably never are. There's always ways to improve. But I think I'm better, and I've dealt with it in a far more productive way, and not been like, is what it is. Like I have taken the lessons from it and whatnot, so I have learned. But I think just to be able to give something back from an educational point of view. So whether it was something within football, because that's obviously close to my heart, or
just young lads in general, for the manosphere side of things.
Exactly that. So
so giving back. Giving back.
Yeah, to be able to share the story and give them some like tangible advice or. Yeah,
for free, because the money's been made. You've got to sort yourself out first. I think that's always important.
Yeah, you got and then
it's giving back.
Yeah, so whether that's I turn my app into like just a free resource and guide them through.
You've got an app, have you?
Yeah. That's how that's majority of what I deliver to my clients is on the app. But obviously, a lot of the other stuff like the mindset work, the identity work, that has to be done obviously over the phone or in person, depending on where they are. So you can't really build an app for that because it's too. Personalised. But that's.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be checking.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. So it's not even. The money is important. Like anyone that doesn't say that they're not money motivated, I kind of feel that as a bit of a. I just want to be able to be comfortable, and then the rest of that, like it's more of. The thing that sets me apart, and I hope that does come across, is the fact that I am an empath. Like the guys come to me, and the guys that I have now, it's just like
a non-judgmental.
No, and I don't want to say again like safe space, but guys that have reached out to me, they've followed my stuff, they've seen the podcast, they know what I've been through, and that they trust in me, and I think it's hard to build trust off blokes to be that open from the get go, and I think like they know there's no judgment, and they know that I've kind of. The guys that I work with now, that the clients 35 to 55 that seemingly have it all, their biggest fear that they lose it all. I had that in 8 days. Like I like the marriage, the house, the business. And I'm all right. So you'll
be all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I said a post about it the other day actually, where I was on about, and I said that people, even with a bit of money and stuff, what they do, they think they're happy and comfortable. What they've done is just put a fear barrier around themselves, a protective fear barrier, because they're that scared of change or something happening, and it does show. I mean, they've done well to get wherever they've got to, but it does show not lack of resolve or it's hard to describe what it means.
It's almost like they almost go into like safe mode or comfortable mode.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, oh God, I don't want anything to.
Yeah, well, they took the risk to get where they need to get to, and it's like, I'm here now.
I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go back.
Handbrake on.
Handbrake on, and that's it. Yeah, that's right. And you see a lot of that, and it's a shame because they're not living life.
No,
in a completely different. It's like you weren't living life for those 10 years. They think they're living life, but they're not. They've just created a safe bubble.
To put it back to like the football analogy, it's the same as if you're like 1-0 up and you park the bus, and then the other team equalise, and you can't get that momentum again because you've been
they've got the momentum. Because and also if anything does happen in their world, they're fully wobbled more 100%. than the average person because they're not continually trying to. As humans, we should be creative and explorative and. You should
never sit in your comfort zone. You should always be. You should always be trying to push something. You never feel fully. When you start to hit that like homeostasis part, it's like no, that's all right. What do I need to do now? Let's
keep you young.
Stretch goal,
and it keeps you young as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you've always got that fire in your belly. You've always got that ambition. You're ticking over. You're always planning and prepping, and I think that's really important. That's always important. That's where like most of the guys that come into my world, it's always small, medium, long term, and then a stretch goal. Like the stretch goal is like, I'm never going to fucking do that. It's like, by the time you've hit the small and the medium, you've got that confidence and momentum. You go, you know what? That's happening next year.
But people can't see it. Like, say, remember the old computer games? Say this was a map, and you start off with this guy, and you can only see this bit in front of him. Can't you? And then the more he moves, it shows a bit more, doesn't it? The more he moves, it shows a bit more. And eventually, you're playing the game and you've created this whole world and
exactly
you can see everything.
I think that's where,
but because they can't see it, they can't see it.
Yeah. It's like you guide them, you open their eyes up, and they're suddenly like, oh, fucking hell, how have we got here? I think that's where the thing
That's a trust thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just let me hold you and take you up here. Yeah. Let's have a look.
Exactly that. And I think this is where, I'm not, obviously, a lot of people still pigeonhole me as like a PT, and people, especially this time of year, people reach out and it's like, I've got a holiday in like 8 weeks, and I need to get ripped. Like I spoke to this guy and it's possible and he can do it for this amount. And it's like, what can you do? I was like, nothing. Like I hate the photo shoot like things that people do.
Yeah, it's not long lasting, mate. You're just going to go on holiday looking like that. You drink a load of beer, eat a load of crap with no good habits, come back and you'll be...
Come back in a couple of months, look at yourself when you were ripped and go, fucking wish I looked like that. No, because you felt like shit. Yeah. Like, you feel like shit.
Because you did a crash course instead of doing it properly.
Yeah, so it's like you've not learned. You've learned bugger all. You've learned how to not eat. Well done. Like... Yeah, that's weird. But well done, mate. Yeah. So I'm very much like I'm
lasting habits.
I get told that I'm too honest because in terms of like my sales patter, I'm just like ideally 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months, and it's like because you're already a busy guy with a job and a career and a family, you're not going to be able to just go fucking balls deep and go from 0 to 100. Like you need to start.
My plan's got to be based on you having 3 hours free a week.
Yeah, and that's
going to take that long.
And that's it can take a couple of weeks for me just to understand their full routine. Because then when I know that's where I can kind of go, well, you can dial that.
Because they're like chimping their brain. I can't do that. Then I can't do that. Then I can't do it. We can't. And then you have to small chunk it forward for them.
It's between like 4 to 6 hours a week I save on average. The clients that I work with, and obviously in 4 to 6 hours you can make a fucking massive difference to your life, the self-improvement journey. Because that's half an hour to an hour of exercise a few days a week if you've not been doing anything. Again, like the nutrition side of things, the podcast stuff, the identity work that we do together, it's like there's enough time. 4 to 6 hours, that's massive. And another thing as well, like the price of it. Some of the guys I work with are like fucking mental millionaires. It's like, how much do you charge an hour for your time? Well, it depends on what I'm doing. Or how much do you normally charge? £1,000. Okay, so I'm saving you £5,000 a week with the time back, and I'm charging you like £500 a month. Straight away, mate. Like your ROI is like insane. Yeah. Like before we've even done any work, like I should charge more. So, but yeah, so again, it's just one of them. Yeah, it's like you have.
Do they all find you for Instagram? These people.
Majority of them do. Obviously, there's some clients I've got. Obviously, I'm. Initially, it was Instagram. Now it's kind of like word of mouth. Obviously, these guys have all got their networks, and there's a guy I'm working with at the minute that lives like down south that owns a number of different. Like he's a solicitor, owns a couple of law firms, and I'm doing some corporate work off the back of that, and I'm now working as like one of his like wellness ambassadors with his network of people. So it's like word of mouth is always the best way.
And going with the flow and taking opportunities like this.
Yeah, exactly that. Like I don't want to say that I'll come on here just for like free advertising or whatnot.
Well, I've asked you. We haven't advertised yourself once. It's only at the very end of the podcast. Yeah, I've asked you. It's not here to plug.
Yeah, it's putting myself. Yeah, putting myself. You don't.
This podcast is all about creating self-awareness in the listener, through the guest, and that is we're
this
hoping
is
to
my
do.
story, and this is what I'm doing here.
Yeah, and we've done a little bit deeper, and
and obviously it's cool because obviously a lot of people see the physique and they go, oh, genetics. Like, it's really fucking not genetics.
Really fucking
it's
not.
It's like, and the little kids that come up to me in the gym, it's like, I want to get like that. What's it take? I was like, 4 days a week for the last 11 years. And they're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's like, there you
Even
go.
I went, fuck that.
There you go. Like,
I don't need it that bad.
It's like, it's like, oh, okay. All right, fair enough. It's like, I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not the type of person that's like, I don't expect you to do what I do because you've not had my life. You don't have my freedom to do it. So it's just like, it's your level. It's making sure that every day you're a little bit better or how you was last week.
Tailored to the person.
Yeah, exactly that.
James, we've got to close this podcast, or Richard's going to shout at me. I know, he's going to shout at me. It should be an hour, you know.
Is it?
It should be.
God, he's got a lot of editing.
Sorry,
Rich. Can't wait for our one. 4 hours.
Well, you see how it could easily carry on for another 12, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. You're enjoying it. But we can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you think in your head? Oh, I didn't get to say that. You want to just literally quickly want to close it on, or are you happy?
No, mate. That's it. Like a bit of story and a bit of what I do now. So yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Down, mate.
Thank you
Absolute
very
pleasure.
much. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.